Check 1 2 1 2. Hey. Well, hello, everybody. Off to a great start. Welcome to the show, and special day here, and something people have wanted and asked for a long time. I don't know why. I don't know why.
I would be the last person I would invite to my own show.
Really? Would you? No, you're a fun guy, Mark.
No, I'm not. And I'm not interesting.
Have you seen him recently?
I'm not a fun guy.
He's
not interesting.
You
I have
seem
nothing
very
to
depressed.
say.
And
Not depressed.
No?
I'm a very happy person.
Are
yeah.
you?
Yeah, I'm just an old man who
Curmudgeon?
gets
So
up at 6
sleepy.
a.m.
Are you curmudgeon?
No, he's really fun
No.
at Michigan games, too.
Yeah.
Huh?
Really fun at Michigan games.
What do you mean by
Yeah.
that?
No, you like to have fun. I think I'm being sarcastic.
I know it seemed really loaded. I expected a lot.
It felt very loaded
seemed
in your defense. It
Awfully
did.
specific.
Well, because that's usually where
When was
we go.
Wait, when was the last game you went to?
Was it Indiana, Iowa?
She's making this up. It doesn't even
No, I'm
remember.
not. We went
I don't
last
think,
year.
I don't think you went. Did you go with me
Yeah,
last year?
we went to one game.
I was probably drunk.
Me too.
Did you get drunk at those?
Yeah, although I can't really, I don't know. I find myself not being able to get drunk anymore.
Really?
Yeah, to which the answer is to drink more.
Yeah. That's
But
easy.
once
fix.
again, I'm getting old and I don't really like getting that hammered anymore.
I don't either. Can't
just-
do it.
I
I'm
puked
good
last
with it.
weekend. I mean, it happened. I puked last weekend.
Did you
You
really?
did?
Yeah, I was camping.
Pussy.
I mixed up too many
pussy.
beers and puked. Blah, it
Beer?
happens.
You
Yeah.
puked on beer?
Yeah, after several.
All right,
but it
let's-
happens.
And then did you douche? What? I mean, how'd
No,
you follow
and
up?
you open up another one, you go. I didn't rain hell or anything like that, but I'm just saying it happens.
I got like that. I went pretty hard with the whiskey for a bit.
Really?
And by pretty hard, I mean like it's 8 o'clock in the
Pretty
morning. Fuck it. Let's
Really?
yeah.
I think
yeah.
you might have a problem.
Oh yeah,
in the morning.
Oh no. Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure, dude. I didn't care. I was like whatever. And but I haven't had a drink in probably a year.
Really?
Well, like a drink, a glass of wine, maybe. But it's been months.
Really?
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
started feeling like shit every time I drank.
Yeah.
And I was like, forget it.
I still feel great.
Do you really?
Yeah, I
You know what? I'm on
Probably because
so
you're the
many.
fittest one here.
I'm on so many medications. I have a feeling it's mixing with that. And it's
What are you
like,
on? Let's compare medications.
I bet I got you beat.
Really?
You're type 2 diabetes, heart issues.
Yeah, but
I'm on
those-
probably 10 medications.
Okay.
Gout.
11? Gout. Not yet.
Prozac.
By the way, we should set the table. Brandon McAfee is here. Jim Bentley, Mark Fellhauer. Trav is in the building. Garrett is here.
Howdy.
Happy it's your month.
I know.
I
Pride month,
gotta
man.
recognize your
Congratulations.
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you.
the
I'm
the
glad I'm
homo,
getting-
and you can feel free to whatever you guys do.
Getting all the recognition I deserve for taking it in the butt.
So
You're the catcher.
these are guys that I know I'm telling everybody already knows this, but guys that I worked with since we were in our early 20s. And I can't believe it. We're fucking old men now. We're just old.
That's what I was gonna
you
say
know?
about drinking. Is I'm at the point now where I like actually the taste of it, so I don't want to get drunk. You know, when you're younger, it's like, oh, this is awful. I'm just drinking it to
Yeah.
get hammered.
What are you
No.
drinking now? That you feel like? Because I'd say that's true with gin, or
Oh, I still love gin.
do you?
Yeah,
like gin,
I've always
Scotch.
liked
Gin.
Yeah,
You do?
Scotch.
Yeah, I love Scotch.
Scotch is good.
I like whiskey.
Yeah,
Some vodka drinks mixed.
it's not. I mean, I don't drink that much. I'm just saying when I do, it's because I like the way it tastes, as opposed to getting fucked up.
Yeah, I like them
Except for Michigan football games, right?
There's always a time and a place to
Apparently.
rage. Come on.
Apparently, yeah.
So when are we going to talk about abortion?
We'll get into abortion.
Oh, how
once
many
we
have
get
you
into- We'll go down the
Tell us about your last
politics
one.
first.
No, it's bad.
You guys, I want so Drew was over here yesterday, and I you're welcome for getting the day off yesterday. You guys have to love that when it's like, yeah, we're not doing a show today because
But then we had to fucking
we
do
often
something
find
today.
out
Wait
the
a sec.
day
Wait a
before.
sec. You know better than that.
yeah, that's
I don't
true.
like. We don't like
Sorry.
take. I don't like taking days off. I don't.
Why? Because then you're stuck at home with family and stuff.
No,
Like,
no. I joke about that. I actually like my family.
I would say that to anybody, not just you, Mark.
That's another another. Let's just keep a tally of reasons why I'm old. I like hanging out with my kids. I mean, they actually make me laugh, which is unusual. I also want to murder them half the time, but that's kind of
but the routine of everything. I mean, it throws you out of the routine.
Well, the audience. It's a surprise to them too. You know, so it's. I don't know. I just don't like that. But yeah, it's probably all a routine.
It's funny to me. Yeah, I probably. It's different for me because when we were all working together, it was like none of us had kids, none of us were married.
Sure.
And I'm still that guy. So for me, a day off is like, all right, just go sit by the pool all day and not call or text anybody.
I can't stand doing that.
That's why I'm leaving, because it sucks.
Out of my mind.
Mark, if you have 3, I sit there on Saturdays, Kate's working, and it's like, just shut the fuck up. I'm trying to watch this on TV. I can't watch it.
I get overwhelmed by the
Yelling at each
responsibility.
other.
Like, I wake up and I'm like, oh, man, I got to make these kids food.
Yeah.
Like, more than once.
But
You got to do it.
But they're little.
It's tough.
Yeah, mine are getting older, though.
So you've got a 5 and a 1-year-old?
5 and a 2-year-old. Yeah.
5 and an almost 2-year-old.
Right.
12, 9, and 5.
You have a fucking 12-year-old,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Girl?
She got boobs.
Yeah.
The girl is 12. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Someone's going to be sniffing around soon,
I
dude.
don't want to talk about her boobs.
Have you started thinking about, like, oh, what do I do when these random
whatever you're
dicks
gonna
start
say,
showing
yes.
up?
I've already thought how big they're going to be. And,
Yeah.
I don't want to think about it. It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
They're gonna-
Thought about it. I'm like, what if this is bigger than mine? It sucks.
And Mark, how old are yours?
10 and 6.
10 and 6.
Yeah.
This is what I'm walking into. So I'm, for those that don't know, moving to Arizona, and
When are you moving?
supposed to be next week. So I had to go to the ear, nose, and throat guy because remember when you guys were out of town, you and Trudy were out of town, but I sat in with you guys for like 3 shows with Drew. My voice was shot. You remember that?
Yeah.
And it's still kind of fucked up. So I had to go to the ENT, and I had
They're dynamite.
They're fun. Camera down the whole thing. They're what?
I was trying to make an
ENT.
ACDC
Oh,
joke.
ENT. That was.
I know.
I do that a lot. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm in
Is that
my
a
own
pun?
world.
Is that punny?
I don't know. I'm full of dad jokes, though.
Okay, that's all right. I don't mind
Full
dad
of them.
jokes. And so I went there and the other day, finally. So I had to cancel it, and then good luck getting into a doctor anytime in the next 6 years. They're like, yeah, we'll see you in 2030. So I finally got in, and they're like, oh yeah, your right vocal cord is not moving.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, sweet. And I'm like, well, I'm leaving for Arizona on Tuesday, like next Tuesday. And he's like, yeah, don't do that. You have to see this specialist before you go anywhere. And I'm like, oh, shit. He's like, yeah, it could be polyps, could be, cancer or something. And I was just like, thanks for that. Nice bedside manner. That's awesome to
me feel
fucking hear.
great.
See you in a week. Like,
Have you done a colonoscopy?
No.
Oh, you've never really?
They gave me
They're the best.
They were,
Jim and
Mark was scared about the medication. It was.
I was.
Well,
like,
what they
if I?
flush
I
you,
don't like
right?
to time travel. What if I never wake up? That was my thing. Like I don't like being blacked out, and it's one of those things where it's like I don't know what they're doing to you.
No, they're touching
I don't
your dick.
want to
Yeah,
fucking
they're
know.
definitely taking
Taking
pictures of your dick and asshole. Yeah,
Well,
for
I mean,
sure.
For their sake, I hope they are. It's pretty magnificent. But it's funny because afterwards, it's like, oh, that was no big deal. What was I worried about? And then, did you read your report, or did you just let the doctor? Okay. When you read the phrase "digital exam" on your anus,
yeah.
it's just
Did
a little
not see
freaky.
that.
And it's like, oh, okay, I'm glad I was totally out for
Do
it.
they, what are they?
But
Is
they
it a
also have-
tube? Is it fingers? Is it a tongue? Like, what do they mean? by
I was out. I was
digital?
time traveling. I have no idea.
And they give
really-
you propofol.
They do.
They do?
Yeah.
That's the Jackson
And you're
drug,
out
right?
like seconds.
Yeah.
I tried to stay awake and just
Yeah,
feel it
yeah.
just for a
You
little
tried to
bit.
fight it.
I was
Maybe
laugh-
they'll give you more.
When I rolled in
not
there,
working.
they wheel you in there, and I started laughing. Like, what are you laughing at? I said, I just think this is funny because this is a big deal to me, but this is just another day at work for you guys. And
Yeah.
you're looking at butts
Yeah.
and putting people out, and it's just,
Yeah.
it's just weird to me to think like, hey, this is your job, and here to me, I'm like, I'm never gonna wake up. I'm gonna die. But the reason it made me think of it is you said polyps, and I'm reading through the report, and it's like they found a polyp. I'm like,
Oh, they did?
is it cancerous? Like I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't read. I
Did
don't
they
s-
zap it?
I don't speak. I hope
Can they
so.
pop it?
I had a little thing in there. They
Yeah, I
zapped.
think they lance it off,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So I don't know what that
And
entails in the throat.
my shits are
let
so
alone the
smooth
asshole.
now. They don't
really?
Have they don't have that track in them.
There's no veins. in there.
stripe.
Do you remember your shit in New Orleans?
It wasn't New Orleans. It was Chicago.
It was Chicago. No, it was New Orleans.
Was that in
were
the hotel room?
Oh, let's talk about shit.
It was 100% Chicago.
What?
that
No,
the
I
hot-
could have
no?
sworn we were.
We were there for the Guinness. They had a big concert at the racetrack. and we were there. It was a Guinness event.
Do you know what concert it was? Do you remember?
I could not tell you anybody who played at that concert. I don't think we were there very long.
But let's hear about this turd.
Dude.
Well, so that room had 2 bathrooms in it.
It was a suite they put us in.
Yeah.
And so you had your like wing of the suite and my wing of the suite, and each wing had its own bathroom.
But they weren't like wings. It was like one big room, but for
Yeah,
some reason
yeah,
there's
yeah.
a bathroom off each end.
It's all on Riff Dime?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they'd sent us
Oh, Guinness. I mean, I think they...
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Trudy might have been doing reads for
Oh,
them.
that's right.
Yeah. And so she's like, do you guys want to go? I can bring people. I'm like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Weekend in Chicago. So it's one of those things where you're
you're right.
out all day, and then by the end of it, you just know you had a massive dump. So I used the one bathroom and was amazed by it. So I went to the other bathroom to wipe up and just to leave it there.
He woke me up.
But it's like, why?
He woke me up. He duck walked across the room and then fucking was wiped in my shitter because it was like, that's your shitter, this is mine for the weekend. You know, don't touch mine. I won't touch yours. And it was the Loch Ness Monster. It was poking out of the fucking water.
it was big.
It was that big. It was poking out of
huge.
the water.
You're on your phone
it
like you're going to
thick?
like bring it up or something.
I was looking for it. Yeah.
Was it thick?
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, it was...
He gave
yeah.
birth.
It looked like
And he wanted
a
me to
baby
see
doll
it.
was trying to climb out of the toilet or something. But yeah, no, that was a big one.
Yeah.
I have yet to remember. I don't know what else want me to say.
You guys
Yeah,
haven't
no,
worked
I don't-
together in 6 years. And you're, hey, remember that shit?
Yeah.
It was very much,
Remember that
dude. You would not have forgotten it, Brandon.
My
if
shits
you had
haven't
seen
looked like that in years.
Mine either.
exactly.
Years.
Mine's
I
a
peaked.
Jackson Pollock every time.
Yeah.
It's
It's when I
Jackson
peaked.
Pollock.
It was all downhill from there.
Peak. Do you ever? Are you guys in public restroom? Because I work in an office.
Public
And-
restrooms. Oh, yeah, why?
I can't believe how fucking loud people are.
Oh, I don't
They
care,
just
dude.
fucking
I'm that guy that's really
explode.
loud. Because I don't mind. If you're next to me, you know what I'm doing in there. So I'm just going to release. Maybe I can get a giggle out
You're
of you.
that guy.
Yeah.
I don't like
I've
it.
run into that guy. I hate that guy.
I know,
I
but-
should have respect
Look,
for him.
I
But
used
there's
to
some
be-
people I like give a flush and try to drown it out
Yep,
in the
I do
flush
too.
noise.
No, I used to be the kind of guy that would be like, okay, I'm not going to make any noise. I'm not going to make any. And then I just wait for the other person to finish up. And then I realized these guys don't care.
Yeah.
I might as well finish up and get out of here first.
Fucking grosses me out.
Yeah,
I can
me
hear him breathe like just this fucking explosion. And
I go in there and I pretend I'm doing cocaine so they don't think I'm shitting. Well, that guy must be doing something else in there. He's sniffing really loud. It's like
Yeah.
anything but shitting out.
Public bathrooms creepy.
We,
out.
we
crying.
went
Too
to
much.
Cedar Point over
oh,
Memorial
those are
Day
the worst.
weekend. No,
Recently?
the worst. And we were talking about this the other day. Why are airport bathrooms
They're
always
wet.
the wettest place in
Yeah,
the
they're
world?
soaking
Yeah.
wet.
There's just water all over the sink and everywhere. But no, we're at Cedar Point, and Julie and Charlotte were going to get on the Maverick. So I'm like, okay, I'll hang out with Annie.
Is that what you call the toilet?
The Maverick?
Yeah.
It was one wild ride, I'll tell you that much. But Annie's like, I have to go to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, let's go. You know, taking her to the men's room. And then I'm like, God, I think I need to go.
Yeah.
And so I'm in the stall with her. I'm like, what do I do? And
oh, she was in there with you?
What do you? Well, I'm not gonna have her stand outside. And she goes, "Don't worry, I'll turn around." And she just faced the door for like 5 minutes. And I was just going as fast as I could. But I'm like, oh, I'm just helping my daughter out here in the bathroom.
No.
The things you do for kids.
Yeah, dude, I wanted to ask you guys because you guys all have kids now. I'm going into a world where I'm stepping into, Marcy's going to be 10 in December.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't have the luxury of starting at 0 with them
Right.
and then like getting that, time. So it's like I'm walking into this world and it's
That
like,
happens all the time.
but I find them so selfish and so
Kids?
fucking dumb. Yeah. They're the dumbest humans on earth. And they're what they're doing, it's like they're discovering it for the very first time. It's
Well, that's
like,
how you learn.
and you're like, oh my God, dude, I don't give a shit about your stupid game.
No,
and
no,
you
but
can't
here's the
have
thing.
that
Here's the
attitude with
thing.
them.
There's no social pressure on them, right? They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care about anything. That's the best thing about
That's
them.
good.
No, I love it. That's
Yeah.
I mean, the innocence is just
I wish
hilarious.
I could have stayed that way.
Yeah, without a doubt. Just
Now I give a shit when people hear me take a shit.
and exactly.
All kids
exactly.
are
They don't-
narcissists up to a certain point.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I remember we
It's a
were at
blast.
what is it? Greenfield Village or one of those, and I was with a buddy of mine when we were little, and I was probably 8, and so this girl would have been like 2 or 3. My buddy's younger sister, and we were getting ice cream, one of those soft serve, whatever. And there's this fucking huge black woman and like the black family, and this girl.
Was that their
Renee-
name?
No,
Blacks?
it wasn't the black.
No, it's the Browns.
But the lady hands Renee, the little 3-year-old, 2-year-old, a fucking chocolate ice cream. She goes, "Mommy, my ice cream looks like them. And I was just like, you're like, fuck, man. This poor black family's just standing
They
there.
couldn't do that anymore, but
No, but a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, what do you do when your kid says something like
Cancel
that?
them.
I had my issue with the
Cancel them.
with the Muslim community when I was 3.
Why would you
Remember
do
a-
Muslims?
up
You
in
pissed off
Mackinac?
an entire religion when you were 3?
Oh yeah. No, I was up in Mackinac. There's
Would you
the-
draw
Wait,
Muhammad?
how old are you?
Full
Is this
garb.
around 01?
I've been like, yeah, 01, 02.
That's your fault. It's all your fault.
Yep, it's all their fault. But we were up in Mackinac, and a couple, full dressed Muslim women were walking by, and I just started yelling, "Mom, look, ninjas! Look, ninjas, Mom!"
Yeah,
and pointing
see
them out, screaming.
But that's what they do. That's what kids
They
do.
could have been.
Like,
Yeah. No, they're a blast.
Yeah.
I
Are
never,
they-
you know me, I never wanted to have kids.
I
Yeah.
will say we did get
Greatest thing I ever did.
we did get a
Really?
$5 super chat here from Francis J. Fox says, "Oh man, kids are the worst. Always begging for food. Changing diapers is disgusting. I wish I could go back to when I was married without kids."
Yeah. I imagine that's a brief period in time.
It's, I mean,
Is it? Are you
it's
guys
gross.
glad? Are
It's
we
not
glad
nice.
that we had the kids?
Absolutely.
At this
Yeah.
point,
It's
Yeah,
a lot
I'm
of
glad.
responsibility and
yeah.
If they weren't so exhausting, I would have had more, but they're fucking exhausting.
Yeah. See, I can do
But I
Legos.
had kids late in life.
I was talking to Bentley about this a while ago. He hates Legos. Like, I fucking love
they're
them.
the best.
The
Yeah,
best.
all the time.
Zero interest.
Yeah.
Playing with them.
Stepping on them sucks. I'll give
Yeah.
you that.
too many pieces.
But it's not even because of that.
Teach your kids to pick up.
It's not even that. I just don't like playing with them. I have zero
Really?
interest.
Oh, they're the best.
love
Fucking
'em.
Yeah.
Putting
Yeah.
them
Dude,
together.
I've gotten into them like to a scary level.
Yeah, they're
Like
great.
they're awesome. Do you
know.
do like big ones? And
Oh yeah,
stuff?
Yeah, but what do
I
you
have
do
the- I have
with
the
it
London
once it's
Bridge and the
complete?
Simpsons house. Yeah.
Once you
Dude, I
finish
kill for
it,
the Simpsons
It's
house.
fucking great.
once you finish it, what do you do with it? You play with it?
Display
We
it.
have a display, a bunch of them. The Simpsons house we took down because the kids were playing with it when they were little. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't you dare mess up my Legos.
You better
Yeah.
not fuck this up.
Yeah. So, no, I would be like that with the Simpsons
Yeah.
house. That one and Yellow Submarine, the Beatles one, I would love to get.
Yeah,
I
but
would
I mean,
love
get,
that.
you have to make it.
This is another.
Yeah, that's fine. I love doing. I'm telling you, I'm not joking. I love doing them.
Would you just buy it without making it? Like put together?
No. You have to put them together.
I
sounded
would-
like
the
you would
collector
have.
in me. If the Beatles Yellow Submarine, yeah. If I could get 2 of them and put one on a shelf, yeah, I could.
Well,
see
you could always
doing
take
that.
it apart and reassemble it if you really needed to.
Yeah, exactly. So if I had one that was in the box and is worth more years from now, like I still have
I'm
that
not going
kind
to
of
resell
attitude.
it.
I know. I'm learning now
You've
that I'm
always
not.
collected
I know.
shit.
I know.
I know. And how often do you resell stuff?
None.
Exactly.
Never.
It was a
Never
waste of
happens.
time.
I've given a lot of it away. At this
It's like they got into. Do you know what Disney Doorables are? They're like little Disney figures, whatever, but they're collectible.
No.
right?
they they probably make them for every character, so you can buy them all.
And you don't know what you're gonna get, right? It's like baseball cards. So the baseball card lover in me was like, oh, and so
What are they? Are they little Lego?
maybe I'll get Moana. I want to get Goku. That's pretty much what it was about. Was getting Baby Yoda.
Yeah, Baby
I don't know.
Yoda's the
They're
best.
just these little things. Julie cut me off because I was buying too many of them for the kids to open up, and I'm like, they're collector's items.
this
And then I'm
shit?
like, yeah, that's me right there on the
Let me
left.
see.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Mark.
Yeah, opening
Yeah,
them up,
looks
but you
just
don't know
like
what you're
Mark.
gonna get. So here's the best part: is
I don't know
that
what the fuck they are, dude.
they're just little
What are-
plastic figurines.
No, I hate
And you
those.
wanted to
They're-
collect those.
Well, because the kids were getting off
My
on opening.
kids have them and they fucking leave them laying
they really?
around.
Add 'em to your
I don't know
Beanie
if they
Baby
have those,
collection?
but they have shit like that. My mother-in-law buys it all the fucking time. I get mad at her.
But I look like a
Get that
genius
shit
because
outta
you
here.
don't know what's inside them. But then I went to the internet to figure out the codes for what's in each one.
Oh,
So you're
really?
And I
guessing
go,
them?
Annie, I really think because she's the biggest Baby Yoda fan I ever know.
Yeah.
She's Baby Yoda
Wow.
on Halloween. She just
Me
loved
too. I get it.
it. Were you ever Grogu for Halloween?
I wasn't, but yeah, she's got me
Really?
beat there.
You
But
and-
I did the Lego. I did the
you
baby
need to
Yoda.
be, you need to be Grogu, and then
Yeah.
your dad needs to be Mandalorian.
Were you really, man?
Fuck yeah, I don't care.
He dresses up every year.
Oh yeah,
Crazy to me.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
but,
Well, yeah.
I never would have if I didn't have
Yeah.
kids. It's all about.
I had a blast in Arizona last year and
Yeah.
a few years ago doing trick or treating with Marshall. It was
Halloween's
fucking
the best.
awesome.
When you
Yeah.
have kids, Halloween is fucking great.
Yeah.
I don't dress up. We walk around with a beer. And
Yeah.
shit.
Do that anyway.
But not if you're dressed up in the
Do
big
they-
dinosaur outfit. You can't fucking drink. He had that big T-Rex.
Did you
That's
really?
a pink
I could-
unicorn.
The
Giant pink
inflatable.
unicorn.
It had
The
its own,
inflatable
yeah,
one,
it
those
had
are
its own
so
air
dope.
compressor in it.
Yeah, those are sweet.
That's a
I
gift
don't-
that keeps on giving.
Do they do that around here, the neighborhoods? Because this is the first time I experienced it in Arizona. It was like,
Well, maybe not this
half
Tony
the-
neighborhood.
Maybe, yeah, no one does here. There's because there's too much space between houses. But I don't remember this growing up, and maybe it's common around here. But in Arizona, it was like every third house was just set up for the adults outside.
Yeah, they
Shots,
do that.
Oh,
beers.
really?
Yeah.
They do that.
I haven't seen that.
Like crazy. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is kind of cool. You're walking around, everyone's doing shots, drinking beers.
Yeah, we were talking about giving it out, those little airport shots. I'm like, you know what, those some fucking 18-year-old's going to come by and get one, and then
So what?
get in the
He's gonna
car,
get it
I'll fit it for
anyways.
one shot and crash, and then I'll be in my mug shot. in my costume.
In the Woodward Times.
In your
My
costume.
mug shot, yeah.
Your inflatable dinosaur.
Oh, I will FOIA that police footage for Drew.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, I'm a little
kids are a
worried
pain
about
in the
it.
ass. Other people's kids are the worst.
Yes.
But when you have your own, they're,
Yeah. Well, I
have
feel
far more
like
sympathy.
I have a lot. I love hanging out with Marshall and my sister's kids. Reed and Matt are great. They're fun as shit in doses. I find myself exhausted, and then I realize, you know what? You've never been anything but a self-centered, selfish prick who is by himself, and I can
Just like a kid.
Right, totally. And I feel like the same person now as I was at 23. And so where you guys all had like kids, and it's like, I gotta turn my life over to these things and help sculpt them. Like I've never done that, and it's like, really now at 50, I'm gonna go fucking like.
You're going to be good at it.
I hope so, man. I always thought I'd be
not
pretty
that
good
hard.
at it,
It's
but
not that hard. The fact that you feel young makes it even easier.
no, I feel like I'm.
Like I know I'm immature, so that's why it's
I
great.
feel mentally young, but physically I'm a wreck.
Yeah.
I'm a wreck.
I feel like I am too.
Trying to find my inflatable unicorn.
Oh, I want to see. I was like,
There
what
I
are
am
you
as a
doing?
horse when Charlotte.
you?
That's me as the horse, and Charlotte is Rapunzel. The horse.
Oh, my God.
Maximus
Right,
from
of course.
Tangled. Right?
Did you have to
Everybody
walk?
knows that.
So you're the horse, and then she's riding you. Did you have to walk around with her on your shoulders?
No.
Okay.
I mean, for a while, but
Yeah.
I'm not that strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, you're stocky.
Yeah. You guys really think I'll
I'm
do all
stocky.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
It's
will.
easy.
You can't really. You
I'm the
can't
uncle.
fuck
How
up.
bad
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
I know.
like worst case scenario, you just throw them back to the parents.
You
Walk
said
away for a
9.
little
You
bit.
said 9. I mean, right now I'm still dealing with 1-year-old shitting her pants all the time.
Yeah.
At least you don't have to do that.
Yeah, that sucks.
It gets worse when they're 4 and shit their pants. So
Oh, yeah.
that's a mess.
Or 40.
Dealt with that recently.
Did you guys go through the days of like, when do I stop showering with this thing? Like at what age?
I never
like,
did.
Never showered with them.
Are you going to have a kid that's got an Ashley Biden
If I had
diary?
boys,
Like, I think
if
Dad
I had
showered
boys,
me.
maybe that'd be on the table. But I have 2 girls that was never on the table. My wife gives them baths, and I stay away. They
Yeah.
don't need to watch me urinate and stuff.
Sometimes Charlotte I'll catch her nude, like walking, and I'm like, can you just put something on?
Anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
And she just laughs about it.
Reese shits with the door open all the
Yeah.
time.
They,
My,
they're really into
door.
buttholes right now. They think
Yeah.
buttholes are just funny. just
hilarious.
a funny
okay.
word.
Okay. Good.
So do we.
Yeah.
you think they're hot too, though.
Yeah.
a little more here.
So that's been their big thing.
Dude,
And
Marshall
I'm like,
would-
could you guys not keep saying the word butthole?
Maybe
And
if
it's
their
funny the
dad
first 50
didn't
I know.
all the time,
Yeah.
they wouldn't
it's
say it.
So being part of being a parent is being hypocritical.
I used to call him a butt licker and a dick licker all the time.
nice.
And then his mom got so mad at me. Dude, I have a picture upstairs. My niece goes, Uncle Mike, how do you spell Uncle Mike? And I was like, oh yeah, no problem. DICKLICKER. And she wrote 2 dick licker Uncle Mike. And her dad got so mad at me. I was like, dude, that's fucking hilarious. That's hilarious.
Frame that.
She doesn't know.
Yeah, she doesn't
and
know.
she's gonna laugh. That's the part about being a parent. Like,
Yeah.
stuff that seems crazy now, you're gonna laugh about it.
Hilarious.
10, 15, 20 years.
That will never not be funny to me. I'm like, do you think that scarred your daughter? Honestly, the
No.
2-year-old who doesn't know how to spell Uncle Mike and thinks
No.
dick licker is. Yeah, that to me that's great.
No.
Yeah, butthole things. I remember Marshall. He was probably 4, and he would dude. He'd take his bath or whatever, and then he'd be nude. And anytime a fucking toddler is nude around me,
Hilarious.
I freak out. It just
What?
I'm like-
Really?
yeah, because there's a
What,
knock on
too
uncles.
many urges or something?
No.
What are you gonna do?
There's too
Usually
many.
it's the uncle.
Usually,
Christ.
there's too many like fucking bad uncle stories, and it's like, look, man, I got no interest in kids' buttholes, pee-pees, none of it.
No one does, but just because they're nude around you doesn't mean you're. Well,
But
someone's
he
gonna
would-
catch me on
okay,
camera.
let me finish. He'd come sprinting in the room, leap onto his back, throw his legs behind
Oh,
his
yeah.
head, and he'd be like,
just-
naked Marshall, naked Marshall. I'm
Yeah.
like, put that pristine butthole away. I don't want to see it.
No, there's nothing
No one
worse.
wants to see
You know
this.
what's the best? Reese did one time. He took Kate's phone and went on her Instagram When an Instagram live, fucking set the phone down,
No.
pants down, going like his butthole right over until Kate gets a text 2 minutes later from her cousin. Reese's butthole and balls are on your Instagram.
No.
How many new followers did you get?
Tons.
I did have we took a picture of it before she deleted, just to remember.
Of course. I would
Remember
expect that from you and
That's
Kate,
so
dude.
funny.
Honestly, that's hilarious.
Still
It's always
remind
the
him.
same and always different. There's always a bunch of naked guys having a wonderful time together.
You know who that is, don't you?
Yeah, San Francisco
That's
Jack.
Jerry from the San Francisco
yeah.
Jacks.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize
One of the
him
nicest
first.
guys you'll ever. He stayed here.
Here?
At my house. Yeah, my house.
Did you put a black light in the room afterwards?
Was that when you
No,
were drinking?
I wouldn't dare. I was drinking. Yeah.
What happened?
Fucking greatest
buttholes.
dude in the world.
Sure.
He's fantastic. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
What
yeah.
does he look like?
Dude, he's almost
A wizard.
80. A wizard. Yeah, he
looks like a wizard.
fucking gay wizard. And it's funny.
Well, I guess I wouldn't think he wouldn't have been nice. I mean,
like
he likes beating off with other guys, like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I mean? It takes a special personality to want to do that.
yeah, I think they've disbanded the Jacks now at this point.
Really?
Yeah, I think they COVID. No, I think it had something to do with COVID at the time. Like, getting 80 guys in a room beating off together is
Yeah.
not
It's not
the
essential.
simplest thing.
If you're 6
It's
feet
not,
apart,
it's not an essential job.
It's not
you
essential.
lose the intimacy of the 6 feet apart.
Yeah, they refused the 6 foot thing, and they got in all kinds of trouble. No, something to do with the rent. The
Oh,
rent.
really?
They were getting like
Down by the power station? Is
Cheap
that-
They
rent.
moved, didn't
Right.
they move? Why do we know
Yeah,
this?
I know. Isn't that crazy? What was their Yanksgiving? Their special Yanksgiving. Like they were wild.
You coming home for Thanksgiving this year? No, I'm meeting up with some friends for Yanksgiving. Sorry, Mom.
Takes precedence this
What? I
year.
mean, come on. That's so ridiculous.
So, are you guys still having fun doing this type of thing for a living?
No.
I mean,
I know Mark's not. No. Yeah, definitely.
and why aren't you doing
I
it
am.
full time, Jimmy? Why?
It's not my decision.
I mean, I figured.
I mean, I'm doing mortgages full time.
How many people do you want Drew to pay?
I don't know. I mean, a few more would be nice. He can afford it. Drew can afford it.
That's not the point, though. The point isn't if someone can afford it.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
it still is a business.
Yeah. What are you saying? You don't want to hire Bentley full time?
No, not at all. How many mics do we need to put down there?
Good point.
It is a pretty small room. For where you guys
It's
are at.
the worst room in the world.
I don't
Why?
think it's the worst room. It's
because
not
it's
that bad.
because
it
it's so.
is.
Have you ever tried to light it?
Yeah, lighting that room
Sure.
would be
It's impossible.
a nightmare.
But it sounds good.
Have you ever walked in the back room and stepped in dog shit?
Yeah, of course.
That's not cool.
We just threw the
Look,
rug
Jim.
away.
Yeah, look. It's totally
Oh,
clean.
you cleaned it. You
Last
cleaned
time I
it.
saw Jim, I stepped square. So these are.
And I warned
they're
him
technically
before.
beach shoes. Like
Yeah.
I brought props.
Those are cool. What are those?
Carrot
Chinese made, $20 on Amazon.
Oh, really?
All right,
Because
all right, all
who
right.
gives a shit what you wear on your feet?
Oh, I want
Yeah.
those.
There's here. Try that.
They were full of feces last week.
Mine are-
Well, and that's the worst part
Mm-hmm.
because they're beach shoes, so they're made to get wet. So it's-
Sandy and
Oh,
wet.
so it's
in the
squished. It's squished between your toes.
And right before I said, Mark, don't step in the shit.
I'm like, oh no, I won't.
Where was the shit? At Drew's?
Everywhere.
Every once in a while,
Yeah,
Lila
back room.
gets out and
Yeah.
decides that
We
she's
threw
going to
that-
mark
yeah,
something.
We threw that rug away.
Oh, you
dog.
did?
Took so much shit on it. I'm like, I'm just throwing this rug away.
Is he not
Feeding.
trained his dog to
No.
take his shit outside?
If that door's open, the dog goes back there and shit. Even if she doesn't have to shit, she finds a way to fucking
Yeah,
squeeze
I know dogs
shit
like
out.
that. They suck. That's a nightmare.
She's a good dog, though.
So you
yeah,
guys
but then I had to go home barefoot.
He did.
why didn't
I
you
was-
just
I almost threw
toothpick
up.
that thing or screwdriver that thing in Drew's sink?
I showed you my shoe, right? It
Yeah.
went all the way through. You couldn't. First off, I didn't have a screwdriver or a toothpick.
Just take a Muslim foot bath in
You
his
think Drew
fucking
has
sink and,
screwdrivers all over the place?
No, but I ran it underwater for about 20 minutes.
Dude, I wanted. So no, let me go back to that. You guys are still having fun doing this type
I have a
of
great
thing?
time every day. I mean,
Yeah.
I just find Drew fascinating. I still learn things from him every day. I really do. He can
Yeah.
consume information and spit it out in a way that I get.
And
so,
always correct.
I know. He
Fucking
wasn't
memory.
yesterday. I got him for the first time
Donald
in
Sterling,
our
thinking
lives.
Donald Sterling was dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my!
Wait, he thought
I had
Donald Sterling was dead.
He thought
Yeah.
Donald Sterling. He was like, I go, when? He goes like 5 years ago, and I was like, no, dude, I don't think he's dead. And then the only thought in my mind was, I've had this argument with Drew for 25 years,
Yeah.
Thousand
and
times.
I've lost 100% of the time, and it's like, fuck. No matter how right I am, I'm like, Donald Sterling must be dead. And we Googled it, and sure shit, he's still alive.
For all intent and purposes.
Yeah, he might as well
but
be.
technicality,
I don't
technically
know.
speaking, he's not dead.
Yeah, but
I
he's
think he
also...
should be ashamed of himself. I think he should go into the background.
He did. He did.
He really
have a
did.
choice.
He really did.
Poor guy.
Well, he was talking about magic. Magic didn't go in the background.
That's true.
I know.
And when he had those AIDS, I didn't
I went
give
to
him
my
those AIDS.
synagogue.
I prayed
And
for
when
him.
he had those AIDS, I went to my synagogue and I prayed for him.
They're going to recreate all that on this show, aren't they?
What do you guys think? You're
Love it.
watching this. It's fucking awesome.
I love every drama that's ripped from reality.
He's got such
Like the
a
Mike
distinct.
Tyson one is really good. I don't know if
Is
you've
it?
seen that.
No.
Yeah, I think it's just called Mike. That's an FX
Is it
one.
new or was it? Did
No,
this
that
come out a
one's
while
not
ago?
Maybe, that was about a year ago, maybe.
But the actor's phenomenal. I mean, for trying to portray Mike Tyson, I think he does a really good job. And with Clipped, I think they have really good actors in there. Ed O'Neill as Donald Sterling is great.
See, I'm struggling just with the voice. Like, there's such a
really?
distinct Donald Sterling voice that he's just got that kind of way about him, you know, that is hard to do. And Ed doesn't quite get that.
We'll see during the Anderson Cooper interview.
He does. He gets a little. He got a little whiny when he's like, "Why are you bringing black guys to my game?"
Yeah, a
Like
little
from
bit.
from the tape.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and you're
That
right.
scene-
But overall, like, I just
buy
have
it.
such a distinct, like, Donald Sterling just has this weird, you know, petulant voice. It's
Affect-
just a
yeah.
weird, like,
and we've been fed that Anderson Cooper interview over and over and over. So I think maybe when they do that scene, maybe he'll get more whiny.
Well, on Clipped, is he young? No, it's pretty current.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I haven't watched it yet.
it's
It's good.
great.
I really like it. And Doc Rivers, Lawrence Fishburne.
Fishburne,
right?
great.
Yeah, he's
It was one
pretty
of those things
good.
where I'm like, something's off about this. How tall are they? And I
Yeah.
looked it up, and they're like the same height.
Are they really?
Yeah, and I'm like,
Well, Doc seems like a small
Small
guy. 'cause
guy.
He's a basketball
Yeah,
player. He's
exactly.
6'1", right?
and then
Or something.
Fishburne.
Fishburne's much bigger,
I'm like,
though.
how old is he? They got to be different ages. They're like 4 months apart. I'm like, oh, but then again, he's playing a guy this is 10 years ago.
Did it freak you out when he goes into the spa?
And LeVar Burton was in there? That was
Burton's
so
there,
cool.
And it's LeVar Burton.
As LeVar
And I was
Burton.
like, as LeVar
Playing
Burton, I was
himself.
like, wow.
And they have
Speaking-
intellectual conversation together.
Yeah.
Speaking of LeVar Burton,
Reading Rainbow.
try to watch the Reading Rainbow documentary on Netflix and stay awake because it's fucking impossible.
Why? Is that bad?
It's just boring. Reading a Rainbow is boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
Because
I
I'll
remember-
buy it
I
on
dug the
anything. I'll
song.
watch any.
I dug
I'll
the
watch
song.
Any, it's actually kind of cool how they made this song too. That's in the documentary.
I like
Oh,
the, I like
really?
the DMX version myself.
That's right.
I don't think I've heard
Why don't you
that,
sing it
but
for us, including all the words?
I can't. Out
Oh,
loud.
that's right.
When I worked at I worked at a nursery with little toddlers for a couple summers. It was
What?
fucking great.
Oh,
Yeah,
back in,
dude.
like,
Oh,
high
yeah.
school,
Me,
college.
and
Well, no wonder you don't want to see him nude.
I was gonna say.
me and an idiot buddy. I absolutely had favorites. This idea of like, oh, all kids are the same.
No,
like,
no,
dude,
not at
if you
all,
don't have
no.
favorite kids, you're
Yeah.
a lying asshole. Is
No, I
what it
do.
is. But I had favorites for Jordan. I still remember little Jordan. She was 2. She was the fucking best, coolest little thing. And I totally Chris Farley'd like on the school bus and ate their snacks.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. I'd go in and be like, oh, this kid's got fucking Oreos and Cheez-Its. No, he doesn't.
Not anymore.
Fucking dude, yeah, it was great. But I would sit those kids down, like 12 of them, and we'd watch Reading Rainbow and that song. I just fucking.
That's another reason to have kids, by the way, kid snacks. Because you don't go out and buy kid snacks for yourself, or I didn't
Well,
for the longest
speak
time.
for
You
yourself.
did? Really?
I do.
You're buying-
Yeah, not really, but
Really?
yeah.
I just
Oh.
picked up a gallon of animal crackers yesterday.
A gallon? They sell them by the gallon
A
now?
big old bucket gallon of animal crackers.
All right. Yeah, and I wouldn't buy the kid
No kid
sizes.
eats animal crackers, though, do they? Do they eat? This is kind of boring.
Yeah,
I think they
mine-
do.
Mine do sometimes.
Frosted
Yeah,
or not
kids
frosted?
are boring. Oh, frosted. There you go. yeah.
Frosted ones are dope.
Yeah,
For a
with the
while,
pink
you'll get sick of
frosting.
them. The pink frosting.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
My new best friend is a 3-year-old. Have I told you that story? I've told you that story.
I think
haven't
you mentioned that to me.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell it though.
I just a kid. There's a family. My girls dance, and he's got 2 older sisters, and they dance, and they go to the same school as Annie does. And this kid is the loudest human being I've ever heard in my life.
What's his name?
Ryan. I love Ryan. Great
Yeah.
kid. So, but he's just so loud, and so the dance studios in Birmingham, where every parent. is just
Yeah, Gemma went there for a little bit.
it's the studio's awesome. I love them. They're super organized, and they do a lot of cool things. And which I omit it. I mean, the worst part about having girls is they're not going to play sports. My girls just don't like sports. They just are not. They tried soccer. It wasn't for them. Like none. I mean, I know some
That's what I'm running into with Marshall. He doesn't like him either. Fuck.
But they love dance. So now I've kind of embraced this whole, like, okay, this is just what
The
they
closest
do.
you're going to get.
Yeah.
The closest you're going to get to sports.
It hit me at the recital a couple weeks ago. It's like, well, I guess this isn't as bad as sitting outside a soccer game at 9 a.m. on a freezing Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm indoors.
The
and
recitals
the lights
I hate.
are low.
Recitals
It's an
look
hour
like
and a half.
crazy.
You see your kid for 2.5 minutes, and you
Yeah.
have to
You're
watch
right.
the other kid.
And with the problem with dance too, don't you have to buy like a shitload of expensive costumes? I've heard the costumes are crazy.
Yeah, it's
money.
not a cheap endeavor.
Yeah.
Especially if you go to fancy places like I do.
Birmingham.
The most expensive.
Why did you pick Birmingham?
Full disclosure, I have no idea what it costs.
I don't know any of that shit
I
either.
paid it, which it sounds a little elitist. I don't know what things cost. No, because it's near their school. It's right on off of Woodward.
Oh, okay.
There's one in Berkeley. I don't know.
Yeah, get Marshall into dance. That'll fix everything.
Yeah. I'm hoping
At the
he's not
rec-
gay,
Oh,
but
boy.
we'll see.
At
No
the
offense, Garrett. No offense.
Oh, no, it's
You
fine.
can dance and not be gay. What are you talking about?
Name one.
I guess.
Name one.
Do you dance?
No.
See, there you go. You can be
But
gay
we're
and
talking
not
about the
dance.
opposite.
He's
I
the
mean,
most ungay homo I've ever seen.
There's
though.
a big
He really is.
crossover in a Venn diagram, but it doesn't mean they're all that way.
No,
Those
it's like,
people.
not
Dancers.
all male dancers, or not all males are dancers, but all male dancers are gay.
Yeah, that was kind of
That's how
my
it goes.
point.
Yeah.
The,
I'm on
the
the
gay is
same
speaking.
page.
Not all gay
Listen to him.
males are dancers.
When the gay speaks, listen
Got
to
an
him.
expert here.
This guy knows cock. Trust me.
My girlfriend
I'm
has
just
one.
trying. This is the problem. I'm trying to think of a famous male dancer, and I can't think.
Yeah, exactly.
Baryshnikov was nailing chicks left and right.
I couldn't come
Haven't
up
you
with
seen
any-
Billy
Baryshnikov,
Elliot?
What was he?
Billy Elliot, that kid wasn't gay. His friend was.
Billy was so gay.
Is it?
And
Yeah.
you're gay for watching it.
Can you
Good
think of
movie,
a?
great
Can you think of
soundtrack.
a popular non?
Gregory Hines.
Okay, that's pretty
No,
good.
so there's
that's pretty good.
I'll give you another
That's
one.
not bad.
Actually, no, this is just Timmy. There's another documentary on, and we've talked about it a little bit on Netflix. The TikTok cult. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I haven't
Have you
seen it, but I've
it?
heard
Is that the one with the local angle?
Yeah, the two girls are from Macomb. I think they went to Warren Consolidated Schools or whatever. But the whole story is they go out to L.A., which apparently there's just tons of dancers in L.A. and just not enough. It's just really competitive because there's so many dancers and so many, not enough spots for them or whatever. So they go out there, and that's when TikTok started getting big on dancing, and these people would do dances. And this guy's like, hey, that seems pretty lucrative. I'm going to manage you guys. Meanwhile, he's the head of a church and takes tithing and donations. So in the end, he was taking 80%.
So he's Lou Pearlman.
The point of me
He's
bringing
Lou
it up.
Pearlman of today's generation.
The point of me bringing it up, the two sisters from Michigan are very, very attractive. And the one girl married a guy who's a dancer. He wasn't gay. The other one married Austin. The other one married Austin Eckler.
That was a long way to find a straight.
Yeah, I was
Well,
thinking
no, there's
the
a
same
big
thing.
one
Well,
we're
if
missing.
anybody
there.
had seen it, I could have just said the name.
Was Fred Astaire gay?
Fred Astaire just came up in the comments, but we also missed Kevin Federline.
K-Fed?
He was,
Yeah.
yeah. He's got a lot of kids.
right.
We also got a $2 super chat that says Brandon is huge, who I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's Stuttering John.
Oh, I don't know.
Stuttering John, who I don't know.
I don't know.
At that dance recital, my girls, this set comes out, and I said to Julie, I said, "Oh, that poor girl, she didn't get the same costume. That's really weird." And she just looks at me, she goes, "That's a boy." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, they get like bow ties and stuff.
Yeah, they just have a different costume, but I just I wasn't naturally thinking that a boy would be dancing and then
Right.
B had really long hair.
Okay,
So that's
was
my
this a
unconscious bias.
yeah? Was this a trans dancer, or was this sort of like,
What?
oh, boys are allowed in the girls' dance group?
He was like 7.
Well,
Yeah,
aren't you
so-
born that
When
way?
you know, you know,
Yeah,
Mark.
yeah, you know, 7-year-olds can be trans, right?
Yeah,
Obviously.
no, they can, but yeah.
No, I didn't know if it was like all girls. I thought they
No,
separated
they have-
these things
no,
usually.
No, there's
they
not
have
enough boys to really come up with a whole dance. So they throw the boy in there, and
Exactly.
Yeah.
everybody goes, "Oh, look how cute he is."
Aiden Hutchinson did dance because his sisters did dance.
Really?
Yeah, you don't know that story?
Yeah, he's gay.
No.
So,
Yeah, well, he does the Michael Jackson. I mean, that's his sack
exactly.
move.
So there was a big story about how his sisters would dance, and so he would have to go. Like my best friend Ryan, he would have to go to the. He's a fucking blast. You would love this kid.
How old is Ryan again?
Ryan is 3.
Okay.
And so yeah, going back, I'll just finish that story.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a real quiet, because it's Birmingham, so everybody's on the computer, everyone's on their phone, and I'm like, I don't have anything to do. I'm going to fuck around with this 3-year-old because he's the loudest human being I've ever seen in my life. So of
He's
course,
a mini Mike Clark.
and he started yelling at me. He's like, you are not allowed to watch TV, just out of the blue. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not. He goes, no screens except for the weekend. And I just looked at him, I said, I watch screens all day, every day.
Yeah.
Do you want to know
In
why,
your
Ryan?
face.
And he's like, why? I said, because I'm an adult and
Yeah.
I can do what I want.
Yeah. No,
So,
fuck off.
so I was totally messing around with him. And he goes, another time I was there, he goes, I'm going to get a big boy bed. I'm like, oh, you're getting out of your crib? He's like, yep, I'm getting a big boy bed, and I'm going to have 2 pillows, and you can come spend the night. So immediately in my head, I
What
went
is
like,
this mom
Yeah.
doing?
I went like you in my head. I'm like, I don't want this kid
not gonna look good.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy said he wants to spend the night with me.
Yeah, so I just went, that's a very nice offer, Ryan, except I need 4 pillows to sleep with.
Yeah.
Because I do.
Yeah, and then next week he's got fucking 4, and you're
still,
good
hasn't,
out.
still hasn't gotten his big boy bed.
And then you got to explain to him your sleep apnea machine. And
yeah, he wants me to come over here for a play date. He asked his mom. His mom texted Julie, Ryan wants Mark to come over for a play date.
Yeah. You should go over there. How funny would that be if you just knock on
Every
the door?
time because he's at
Julie's
Play-Doh
like, why is
Legos.
this fucking old
Have him
man
call
here
you
for my
dad.
kid?
He's at their school, and every time I see him, it's like, Ryan! He's just like,
What does he call you?
This is
What does he call you?
My name, Mark.
He does?
Yeah.
Well, Noah down the street, who's my best friend, by the way,
Yeah.
he's 9. And he calls me Mr. Mike, and I think it's the
Oh,
coolest
really?
thing fucking ever. I'm like,
Sign
yeah,
of
Mr. Mike,
respect.
I like it.
There's a kid in Annie's class, kindergarten, and he just goes, "Hi, Mr. Fellhauer," and I'm like, "Mr. Fellhauer." That's my fault. I looked at him, I said, "About time I got some respect around here." I would much rather hang out with like kindergartners and first graders than adults. They're
Yeah.
more fun. I'm sorry.
Well,
I
they're-
can't
there's
believe
no pretense.
They're
They
inadvertently
just want to
funny.
have fun. Yeah.
They're inadvertent. I think I was telling you when I was visiting my sister in California in Madison and Reed, and I was playing a game with them. I'd be like, "Oh, I got to tell you a secret. I got to tell you a secret." And they'd come up and like, and I blow in their face. They'd freak out and run and this and that. And they're making so much noise. They're screaming. And my sister's like, "What is going on in here?" She pokes her head out, and Madison just goes, "Mom, get in here. We're blowing Uncle Mike." Whoa. Hold on. Wait a minute.
There's the uncle.
Well, it's good that they
I'm
didn't.
like, no.
It's good that they didn't get it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good she didn't go, "Oh, I mean phrasing. We're blowing in his ear."
Yeah, we're blowing in his face. We're not actually sucking Uncle Mike's dick. Sorry, Mom. Yeah.
Gross. So why is this 9-year-old your best friend? What do you do?
Oh, he's the shit, dude. So
Yeah.
so the guy that's been doing.
How did you meet?
we met on TikTok?
He used to bully me on the street, and we finally decided to be friends.
No, his father is Josh, who's been the main guy doing all the construction, the kitchen, the bathrooms,
Okay.
and it turns out he lives a block over, and his kid would get dropped off at the bus on the block, and then would
Yeah.
walk over here at the end of the day, and his dad and him would drive home.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
so he would come in and, "Hi, Mr. Mike," and I'm like, "Dude, that's fucking the respect you're showing me is dope."
Yeah.
And then I started giving him shit. I gave him.
Yeah.
They went to a baseball game with Drew's tickets one day, and
What?
shit.
Oh, yeah. How many have you been to?
0.
Yeah, me too.
What?
Zero.
Be a fight.
I
Oh,
got
you've been to
one.
1,000
I got
games over the
one.
years.
Oh no, Mark.
I haven't been. I haven't
Marcus
used
is-
Drew's tickets in like 4 years.
You gotta ask Tom
really?
Asway.
I was gonna say Mass keeps
Yeah.
taking them.
Dude, I saw
Most of the
that.
time 'cause
Someone made a
most of the time
comment
'cause
about
we're
that.
working, right? I mean,
Oh,
there are
during
a lot
the
of
week.
games
Drew's
at
generous
some
with
Yeah, on
them.
the
If we
weekend.
ask,
No,
we
yeah.
never-
I was
we
gonna
never
say,
ask
you
ahead
think
of
he
time.
wouldn't if he
No,
wanted
but
him?
I'm not going to ask.
It's just one of those things where you don't think to ask ahead of time, and then when a game comes up, he's already given them away,
Yeah,
or maybe
yeah.
he's going.
It's just there is.
But he
it's his
gives a lot to
prerogative.
Tom Asway.
But they go to
Matt's asked.
waste. He
Well,
told
that's
me
the thing. If you have anybody that's got season tickets, you just want someone
someone
use
to take
them.
him.
Yeah.
He was telling me because when he was over, he was like, "By the way, if you want to go to, there's a bunch of games, especially early in the season, I'm just not going to be able to go to." And I was like, "Dude, I would love to go to a game. First off, I don't have anyone really to go with. Secondly, I've got so much shit going. Sorry, Trev. I got so much shit going on here. It's the last thing I want to fucking do. But
Yeah.
I know these people. If you're just sitting on the tickets, they'll take them." And he's like, "Here, boom."
Yep.
And I did go.
They make it a lot easier now because it's all digital too. So
Yeah. I
have
did
to
go
see
see
somebody.
Newberg throw out the first pitch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted to go to that game just
Yeah.
because Chris was
Yeah.
doing that.
First time I got to
cool.
go to the Champions Club, I was an intern, and Drew was throwing out the first pitch.
Oh, yeah.
That was when Drew was, he threw it out there. So
Yeah. I
I
didn't
somehow
make
got
that game.
Champions Club
Yeah, you
tickets. I
did.
thought it was amazing.
I think
You
the
were at
last-
that game.
I think the last time I went to Champions Club was when Denard Robinson was in there.
Oh, was Denard in there?
Yeah, we got fucked up and drove all over the city. No, he was there, but he was there. He was really nice.
I had Rosema in there.
Yeah.
Me and Rosema got
Rosie's
into the
always
thing.
in there. He works there.
Yeah, I went-
basically. But I was trying to sneak someone in, and Rosema and I conspired together, like sneak Newberg's girlfriend in. And next thing I know, I'm like, all right. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm having this fucking conversation with Dave Rosema right now. And we're trying to
talk
figure
to
out
anyone.
how to
Tell him to
fool
karate
the door
kick,
guys.
just karate kick.
Karate
anybody
kick,
that gets in the way.
I saw him there. Wow, was that last year? I swear he'd like just finished painting. Like he had the
Sounds
dirty
about right.
shirt on. Like it was a t-shirt, but it was,
I think he was painting this time,
it was
too.
discolored.
I went a couple years back, and we were sitting at a table, me, my wife, and two of my friends that we brought with Drew's tickets, and
Riley's.
We saw
If you had 4.
Yeah, it must have been, and we saw Rosie all the way across the room, and I told everybody that was sitting with me, I said, listen, this guy is going to come, and he's going to hold court with us.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's going to happen, but he's going to. The fifth inning comes, hey, guys, how you doing? He comes right to our table. He talks to everybody like he's their best friend. He's
That's why it's smart for the Tigers to have him around.
Yeah.
To do that kind of
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Just
like when
having
Gates
your
Brown.
alumni.
Remember Gates
Yeah,
Brown
oh
used
my-
to
I
be
was
at the-
just going to say that.
Yeah, I probably have 3,000 autographs from Gates Brown.
No, I stopped.
Because you
I don't
couldn't-
want him.
Well, you couldn't turn it. Oh,
You
come
felt
on,
bad. They'd stick
Gator.
him in a fucking stairwell at a
right
table.
at
and
the
you're like-
entrance, and you had to get an autograph from him.
And so when you went to the Champions Club or
Yeah.
whatever, he would be sitting in that hallway
Yeah.
just by himself, and it's like it's not in the main concourse where there's tons of foot traffic. And the people that are at the Champions Club have probably walked by him
a million times.
times.
So you always had to stop and just say, nice to meet you.
Mark, I can't believe how many people you just fucking talk to. Kids.
Me?
Gates
All the
Gates
time.
Brown. Yeah, like. No, I don't want to talk to
I
anyone.
like talking to
when I'm
people.
out.
Why not?
I don't know. When I'm out, I will do it, but I'm always like, no,
Mark's
I
a
don't wanna
social
fucking-
butterfly.
I had that happen last night. So Charlotte had to do a bowling. This is so dumb. My life is just dumb. This is why I
it's
told
all
you.
right.
This is why I would not invite myself to a show because I'm not interesting.
Oh, I think it's fucking hilarious.
So she bowling at
Bolero?
No, what's the place in Berkeley? Why can I not think of the name of it?
Bolorama?
No, it's right on
Barney's.
12 mile.
Hartfield.
Hartfield
Hartfield
Lanes.
Lanes, yeah.
So
On the second floor.
I get there at pickup time as a Girl Scout thing, and thanks for buying cookies from her.
Did she ask me to?
Oh, I put it on Twitter. Oh, you didn't buy them? Okay.
Oh, you put them on Twitter?
I bought him.
Dude, I have type 2 diabetes. I can't be buying stupid.
You can buy it for her. You can donate them.
For your buddy down the street.
They figured out a racket, a way around everything.
I gotta tell you. Okay, that's
Wait,
a whole nother thing.
is she in the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts?
Scouting of
Scouting
America.
America.
No, she's Girl Scout. Which, by the way,
They don't have enough scandals. You have to change your name,
well, they're girls. I mean, right?
I guess.
Nobody wants to be a pedo with girls.
I mean,
Actually,
let's-
that's not true.
Yeah,
that's Larry Nasser. Anyway, so yeah, the bowling alley. So I go and pick her up, and I'm watching her and her friends bowl. And then in this lane, I'm watching these two guys bowl, and it's like PBA, right?
Yeah, they're on it.
Just fantastic. Like, and one guy's left-handed, so I'm kind of really getting off to. How's the guy do that? Like, as if,
Oh, yeah, as a lefty,
as
yeah,
if
that's
you know,
your...
it's just unusual to see
Oh, look at that spin.
Yeah.
And so the girls started noticing how good they were. And it was one of those things where they make eye contact with them. I'm like, oh, the girls are really impressed with how you bowl. Next 20 minutes, I'm in a conversation about bowling and learning how bowling, which is, not terribly interesting to me, but it was one of those. But yeah, I will talk to them. I don't care.
Social
I
butterfly.
can't
Yeah,
believe it.
you're more of a ghost.
Do you guys want to know how a bowling
Yeah.
ball works?
Yeah, I do.
Do you? No, you don't.
No,
do you
not really.
No.
You know what I did learn?
They were very nice. It was one of those
Sure
things.
they were.
He was so passionate about it that I didn't want to be like, okay, whatever.
Dismissive.
Yeah.
You know what
And
it
I'm
reminds
kind
me
of
of?
interested.
One of the things I learned from Drew very, very early on when I'd see Drew out, because Drew doesn't really like talking about himself much at all. But he interviews everybody. So when you meet Drew, if you meet him, he's going to interview you about what it is you do, and it doesn't matter what it is you do. And that's like the genius of him is being able to make whatever career you have sort of interesting.
There's nothing worse than meeting somebody who just talk about themselves, right?
Yeah, but if you're a celebrity like Drew, a lot of people have questions. They want to know this and that, and Drew
he'll
just doesn't.
flip
He'll
it.
flip it in a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just the way. It's something I learned from. It's
I'd rather
that's what
ask-
Drew would do. Would go to the bowling alley, and they instead of them going, "Oh my God, you're Drew Lane. Holy shit! Blah blah blah. What was Mike Clark like? Is Trudy hot?"
Yeah.
Those stupid questions.
Sure.
He would be like, "No, tell me about the spin of the ball.
But
How do you drill the finger holes?"
Wouldn't you genuinely rather talk to someone and learn about what they do than answer their questions?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but Mark,
but
you're
it's
a person-
rare.
I couldn't call Mark 5 days a week and have an hour-long conversation.
Oh God,
with him,
I
but
don't
he'll
want to talk
fucking
to
talk
you.
to
I already
anyone
know
else.
everything I need to know about you.
Going back to the first pitch thing, Drew, I think you were there. Do you guys remember what we did afterwards? When Drew threw the first pitch,
I don't think I was there.
You were there with your scientist buddy. I remember that. 'cause
scientist.
Derek?
Yeah.
Probably?
Oh, Derek, probably.
You were
yeah,
there.
Yeah,
I
okay.
definitely remember.
Was I
that.
there?
I don't.
Yeah, you would have
You
been
were. You
there.
were definitely there.
Because I know Eric Fady was there.
Yeah, then I would have
Then I
been.
wasn't.
You
would've
just
been.
don't remember.
But I remember either Bentley or
When was this?
Joe or one
Must
of us.
have been 2010 because that's when
2010.
I was an intern.
Yeah, when he threw out the first pitch, and the next day, it was probably Bentley. Convinced Fady that we wanted comment from people because we'd interviewed people in the park or something about the first pitch, and Bentley or Joe, one of them, got like we did so many times with Eric, was just like, look, Drew does not need someone kissing his ass. He wants to say it like it really is, and feel free to go hard at him. and Eric was just like, yeah, it was I didn't think it was that good of a throw. It was kind of high, and it wasn't really a strike. And then we played it during sports, and Drew took like serious offense at it. It was like, who the fuck is this intern, man? Like giving him
Fucking idiot.
what does this fucking guy know about it?
We got an actuality from him.
You guys were so mean to him.
Yeah, you guys. I feel like that was like
Especially you.
Bentley and Joe. But there was some great shit
Oh,
that came
actually,
out
yeah.
of it.
I think Marasso.
Marasso egged him.
Marasso hypnotized him.
Yeah.
Then the
I forgot
basketball
about that.
fiasco they had. And the
Oh yeah.
And bowling, they did.
He was supposed to get a penis tattoo.
he was
never did.
he was an intern when I was an intern. I started there with another guy, and then that guy got quickly kicked out because he tried breaking into the prize closet.
Sam, I
He
remember
got busted
Sam.
trying to
Really?
break into the prize. So I ended up being the only intern for
Boy,
5
boy,
months.
times changed.
Great. And then
Prize
Eric,
closet days. Yeah, remember those?
I remember Eric came in for his interview, bolo tie.
Yeah, buttoned all the way up to the.
When he walked
the
out,
top.
everybody said, "We got to hire that guy. We got to have him."
No, they didn't, because I said that,
Yeah,
and
I
everybody
remember
else was
that.
like, get that fucking psychopath out of here.
I remember thinking he
Dude,
was
he
cool.
sat in my seat and fell over. Immediately fell over. The
guy
seat
was
crashed.
gold.
But see,
It was hilarious.
I had been there for 5 months, and I'd never been on the air. He was the kind of intern where you immediately throw him on the air.
Yeah.
And that was, I kind
We
of
actually-
did a lot of the background stuff, and he got front and center. And
Well, I remember he said he wanted to do stand-up. I go, okay, put 5 minutes together. We'll put you on.
my God,
Which, I mean, how unfair is that? For
But brilliant for him.
And I mean, can you
Brilliant
imagine,
for
like,
him. Because you remember how that went
But
down?
I just mean
Yes.
it is a no-win situation. He wasn't
Oh.
going to win. He could have come up with. He could have plagiarized 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and he would have blown it, no matter who you are, just because it's very intimidating. I mean, you remember
Dude,
your first time on the air?
I do.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll ask. We'll all go around that. But dude, one of the funniest moments ever was him doing stand up in studio,
Yeah.
and Mark had one of the funniest fucking comments. Every time I think about it, it still cracks me up to this day. And Eric, so we had the Tonight Show music going. We
Yeah.
had the lights. We had a spotlight on him. Drew's introducing him like it's a proper club. Like it's a huge thing. We got a mic stand.
He's just
like
laughing.
it's a
Set up for failure.
performance.
Yeah.
Set up, and now you've got all of us animals. Drew, Mike, Mark, me, Bentley. Like you, Brandon. Whoever's in there is just going to heckle him without mercy.
Yeah, and he has
he's
no.
no chance.
No audience, right?
No
So there's
audience.
No audience to turn on.
His
the
audience is us.
I remember,
maniacs.
I remember him just even like my
And-
name's Eric and Clark. Just laughing.
That was a good Clark impersonation, actually.
So he says, "What's Eric?" Goes like, "Yeah, what's up with these names? You know, it's like my name's Robert, but you can call me Bob. That doesn't make any sense. It's like my name's Eric. Why don't you just call me Elbow?
Elbow.
Elbow." Do you remember that, Mark?
Yeah, but I don't remember what I said.
And then all of a sudden, there's a quiet spot, and Mark heckles something along the lines of, I can't remember how you said it, but you called him Elbow in the heckle.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my, it was such a
nice
fucking
joke, elbow.
Yeah, not to be more funny, Elbow. Like, it was such a perfect
Well, I remember
callback,
he was
and
like,
it was quiet in the
I remember he
moment.
was setting up something with the word obviously, which it's a pet peeve of mine when someone's like, well, obviously. It's like, well, why is it obvious? And I think
You
that's
said
what I
that
yelled
too.
at him. Like,
Why
why
is
is
it
that
obvious?
obvious? It's not obvious.
Yeah, we beat the shit out of that guy.
I know. I feel kind of bad about it.
Don't. Oh, he loves it.
I'd like to listen to that again.
Well, I
If
didn't
could
say
ever
I didn't
find
say I
the-
regretted it.
Yeah,
or
good.
I'm going to atone for it in any shape or fashion. I just
If we
the
could have
pie, the pie to the face. I think is what I feel bad about. Do you remember that?
Is that in the office?
Was
Yes.
that coming out of the office into the studio?
Yeah.
He was
might
walking
be.
in the studio.
In the
Marasso
studio.
hit him
Hit him
with
with
a pie,
yeah.
like the old comedic bit, which I appreciated doing because you never. It's not a real thing. People
Yeah.
don't really never. Nobody ever really did that except for old timey movies for the look of it.
Yeah.
So nobody
Three
would ever.
Stooges.
Yeah. So I felt kind of bad for that, mainly because the cleanup was atrocious.
Do you remember when he came? He said like, "Nah, I've had the sniffles. I think I'm getting sick," and we freaked out on the spot and went
Yeah.
like, "Mike Clark is the biggest phobe about being sick," and
There's
made
a lot
him
of truth. There's a lot of truth in
There
this.
is, but he wasn't sick. It wasn't, and then he was like, "No, actually, I'm okay." And we're like, "No, dude, you got to get out of here," and you owe Clark an apology.
Yeah.
and made him go home and write an apology to Mike Clark. I still have the apology letter
you
upstairs.
really?
I do. It's fucking dude. I was
How
going through
ridiculous.
some shit.
I wish I could hear that Eric bit again, but I can't find the best of
We'll
CDs.
find it. He's got them.
What?
I'm taking a shot at
Yeah, I got you.
Wait, who has them?
I do.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
you said Eric had them.
Eric,
No,
no.
Oh.
Eric has those things he was on.
I got you.
Yeah, he
Wait,
made a
is
disc.
that the only copy of them?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Eric's got a copy of all the things that he was on.
I was also going to say.
That's the letter?
No.
Yeah, that penmanship's way too good, and it's
Couldn't
written in
spell-
ink.
He couldn't spell shit.
Oh no.
It's not a crayon.
I used to get phone calls from people when he was applying for jobs. He put me down as a reference.
Yeah.
So I'd get a couple phone calls now and again, and they would always ask me, "What do you think Eric's worst quality is?"
Oh, this is interesting.
And Eric's a go-getter. He's real great on the air.
Okay, now you've lied twice.
Listen, if I gotta say one thing, it's probably spelling, but he's working on it. That was what I told the people when they called. It's probably spelling, but he's working on it.
That's so hard to be a reference for people because you don't want to lie.
Dude, you had to do that a lot.
a ton.
Ton. You way more than I did.
That's why
or
no
Jim
intern
did.
ever got a job. No. I think I was fair and honest, and
Would you be honest? And
I
tell
would
people?
I would lie by omission,
Yeah.
right?
Because you don't want to fuck
point-
someone over that's trying to.
God no. So you point out what their strengths are,
Yeah.
and if they have a weakness, I guess you say spelling.
Yeah.
he wasn't wrong.
Dude, I had.
If they ask for a weakness, you find something that's correctable. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like you've. Yeah, that's.
Oh, he's too hard on himself.
Yeah. He doesn't know when to stop.
He's a perfectionist.
Yeah. That stupid shit.
Which it's so dumb that they do it. That I mean, everybody knows you're bullshitting, really,
Yeah.
right? Every hiring HR person knows that.
Yeah. His
I think-
spelling
I
was
think-
so
I think-
bad we made a bit out of it on the show here. That was
Oh, really?
fucking.
Really?
Dude, I would play.
See, I don't think it's that funny because I'm not a good speller.
Yeah, you
No,
are.
you're-
Compared to
no,
him, you're
I
fine.
correct. Correct his spelling quite a bit.
He does, yeah.
I would play "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" by Cyndi Lauper because he had a
Yeah.
diary, and then I would read his
diary?
Yeah,
Not even a journal. It was a diary.
I think it was he might have called it a journal, but I called it a
Did it
diary.
have a lock on it?
Dude, he might have.
Was there sparkles? Is
It was
heart-shaped?
hilarious, but he was such a loser, and he would come home. and he would-
lovable loser.
Lovable loser, but it fucking made it so that when we beat the shit out of him years later, he was so used to being bullied that it just rolled off like water off a duck's back.
Yeah.
Like he was so used to, but he'd be like, "Yeah, I wrote a new joke today," and he'd Joak. He'd spell joke Joak, and he'd be like, "Oh my god, oh my god."
I'm not that bad.
all the shit we gave him, and like, Brandon, could you take that shit? If
No
we were like
way.
that?
None of you could in this room. No fucking way. I'm telling you. I know I couldn't.
Too soft.
I mean, that
No
can be a punching
way.
bag to a limit, but there's a limit.
Yeah.
He didn't get physically abused. Well, maybe Bentley probably put his dick on him at some point.
Somebody threw a pie
I'm
in his
guaranteeing.
face.
I'm going to go on. I don't know, but I guarantee Bentley probably rubbed his dick against his cheek or something at some point.
Well, with pants.
That hypnotism thing with him, that I still think
awesome.
about. I think about that a lot because it
was real. Real.
Really, I don't believe that stuff.
I think it
There's
was,
no way he's that good of an actor.
He's not exactly.
No fucking way.
Exactly. But I still maintain. I don't think I could be hypnotized.
I don't think
probably
I
because
could
we're too
either.
cynical. Like
No,
they say you
exactly.
have to want to do it, which it's like, why did Eric want to be hypnotized?
He sat down. He was the first one out, and I mean, do you remember the word? to fucking take him down, to throw him back under?
No.
Afghanistan, banana stand.
Oh, really?
If you said Afghanistan, banana stand, but
it was weird
his
watching
eyes
Joe
go,
would come in on a Monday and do that, just walk in and go, "Hey, Eric, Afghanistan, banana stand, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're out," and then Eric would pass out.
And dude, his eyes.
Joe, we just started the day. What are you doing to this poor guy?
We need him to pull sports cuts first, man.
I
Dude,
think
his eyes would do something weird, and he would like all his facial muscles. Do you remember this, Jim? His facial muscles would like.
It'd be like he was
shut
falling asleep,
down.
but not. He wouldn't collapse or anything. He was just kind of slumped.
That's where I say there's no fucking way he faked it. And then we said. Remember, Drew was editing, and we're like, Drew, you got to go in there and thank Drew for this position he's given you.
I remember that.
Do you remember that? And we kept sending it, and like, really, you got it. And Eric would just like a zombie walk in, tap Drew on the shoulder, and be like, I just wanted to thank you for the opportunity. And Drew's like, thanks, Eric. Get the fuck out of guys. Stop putting him under. Get him the fuck out of Like,
I remember telling him, like, I think Joe told him that you or I were Pat Green, who was a country singer.
Me, I was
loved
Pat Green. Yeah, I autographed
and
him.
watching how shy he was around you because it's like, oh my God, that's Pat Green.
That's
Like,
Green,
it was
man.
so amazing. Like,
I was wearing sunglasses.
I'm like, yeah, I know that's Pat Green. What's your point? Why is he here?
Remember when you guys told him I was I had an outrageous temper? I think Bentley told him that.
No,
that
I vaguely remember that too. Like, dude, you don't want to.
Don't fuck with Walters.
Wait, was this when he was hypnotized or normal?
No,
normal.
normal.
Okay, normal.
Yeah,
normal.
we'd tell him so much shit.
I think you turned British at one
Now
point.
you know
Yeah,
why I feel.
I do remember
now
that.
you know why I feel a little bad for him.
I talked British for like an entire day to him.
Dude, we've been talking about Eric for 20 minutes. He would love that. And the
Yeah.
fact is, people are laughing their asses off at some of this shit.
They are.
Is he still alive or is he with Donald Sterling? Where's he at? What's he doing?
He's at
I think
Mackinac Island,
He's
right?
on Mackinac.
Gone
yeah.
to
Yeah, I see
Really?
pictures
What's
of
he
him on
doing at
Mackinac.
Mackinac?
I think he works
Shoveling
there.
horse shit. Yeah, dude, he loves it.
Have you,
I'm gonna
ever,
go
have you ever
see-
been to Mackinac?
I have.
Yeah, not in many years.
I have.
But yeah.
You guys have?
Yeah.
I've never been. And
You've got a fun bar
I was
scene.
young.
I have
zero
interest in ever going to Mackinac.
Really? It's kind of cool.
Yeah, no.
Why? Okay. Why is it so cool?
Oh, because I was a kid and it's all
Okay,
horse
I'm
and
48.
buggy.
I'm out.
No. I get it. But it's beautiful. I bet I'd appreciate the beauty of it more now than I did as a kid.
So I'd never been to the Upper Peninsula until last year. We had
What?
a whole yeah.
I've never been.
Where did your family go on? Did you guys go up north? or-
Ohio.
Ohio. Yeah, that's
right?
right.
So
Yeah.
Lake Erie, that people went up north. We went that way, or Traverse City. That was always a big one. But yeah, I'd never been to the UP till last year, and it was fucking awesome, and I loved it. And Marquette is like one of the coolest cities. And then it hit me like I would not want to be here 6 months from now because it'd be all ice and
Yeah,
freezing.
yeah.
But
2 feet of snow.
But I'm like, well, if I'm going to go up to Mackinac, why wouldn't I just keep going?
Yeah.
Someplace on the top part of the Upper Peninsula.
UP.
It's just beautiful. Yeah, and Superior.
Dude, I bet you if
There's
you
a
took,
reason
if you
it's
took
called
Julie and the girls.
Superior. Because it is superior.
That sounds a little racist, but all right.
Why is that racist?
Because it thinks it's superior.
It
to
is.
Is it better than
everything.
Erie?
Yeah.
Oh, Erie's the worst.
Erie's
Yeah.
dirty.
Erie is gross.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
that's
stinks.
down south, right?
That's Ohio.
Ohio, yeah.
Gross.
I mean, it has a close place in
Dude,
my
I
heart, but
bet
it's disgusting.
I bet if you took Jules and the girls and stayed at the Grand, is it the Grand Hotel there?
I'm not
I bet
doing
you'd
that.
fucking love it.
I'm not
I bet
doing
you
that.
guys would love
No.
it. Why?
First off, it's
You're doing
expensive.
it. Yeah, it is expensive.
Expensive as hell. And there's no car. So I'm not ready to
Yeah.
bike.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
you-
true.
Yeah, but you
ride
might be able
bikes
to
all
see
the
Eric.
time.
I do.
You could. Eric could give you a tour and everything.
Yeah.
You hypnotize him.
Yeah.
What's he? So what is he?
Afghanistan, banana
Is he
stand.
performing? What's he doing?
No, he works with a couple horses, and
You're
I don't-
serious?
I'm dead serious.
The buggies.
He does like he'll like clean up one of the state parks, but he loves it. He's like, I think I'm gonna do seasonal work for going forward. Like in the winter I'll work here, in the summer I'll do this.
I
Like, he just
admire that. I admire the freedom.
dude, not a care in the world.
Yeah.
Happiest guy you'll ever meet. Too.
Well, he's like
happiest
an
dude.
infant. He's
you'll
like a
ever-
child.
100%.
That's kind of the whole
100%.
innocence of it.
God
right?
bless him. And he's
No,
doing
I
a
wish I could be
podcast
like
now.
that.
He's got Patreons that are
Oh, really?
supporting him. Yeah, he loves it. And, you know, every one of his coworkers is like 16 to 18. He's like 40. So it's a little weird, but, you know. And he's like, I think he shared like bunks with multiple
Does he
people.
have a girlfriend?
Hell no.
Has he ever had? Has he ever in the
he
time
did, and
yeah.
she was crazy.
Mandy.
Mandy.
Why was she crazy?
Oh, she was reaching out to listeners, like offering to send nude pictures for money.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay,
it
so
really
why
is
was she
not good.
crazy?
Yeah.
that seems normal. What are you talking about?
he was-
I send nudes to listeners all the time.
It wasn't the big thing to. He was a virgin when he was.
He
interning.
was, but then he got on a good roll of
Wait,
hookers.
he
did?
He got on a good run of hookers.
My
Well, sorry.
He got rolled by a few hookers. Hilarious. Got robbed. He ended up in a devil's triangle.
I'm
He ended
pulling
up in
that
a
story.
devil's triangle with a black guy and a fucking hooker. And then she wouldn't take a credit card, so he had to go to fucking Meijer at 2:30 in the morning and
Why
buy her a
did
TV.
you even go back?
Buy her a
With them?
TV. And she fucking took it did a devil's triangle with her and some black dude, the
And he
taxi
didn't even get the
driver.
back.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it's a shit show.
It just hit me. The funniest, I think, the Eric moment, probably the hardest I've laughed. Do you remember when he went on that date and we ragged him and he had to sleep in the bed that was shaped like a car, like a race car bed?
Race car bed.
Yeah,
I bet your boy Ryan's going to get upgraded.
Fuck
to one
yeah,
of
I
those.
hope so.
That's where he should go.
He's sleeping on the floor. I'm sleeping in that race car. I wish I could remember that whole story because it was just the funniest. God, he had to sleep in like the brother's bed or something, but it was a race car bed. Which is
That's-
just hilarious because he wouldn't
that's-
fit in it. He's too tall. And,
Yeah, he is like 6'3", so yeah. No, I remember he got fucking wasted on Mackinac just on a trip up there with his buddies, and didn't get off the island in time. Like there's one last
he's
ferry off
stuck
the
on
island,
the island.
and fucking ended up breaking into a random person's home. The door was unlocked and crashed on the couch, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. And it's like that's how you get your face shot off, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
literally. Woke up and like folded the blanket and excused him.
Why didn't he sleep in the stall?
No, he wasn't working there
Oh,
then.
all right.
I did want to talk to you guys. Do you remember your first moments on the original Drew and Mike show? Because everybody's got one of those. I was trying to think, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I do remember,
remember
my first
yours?
time. I do.
Mine was stump the staff.
I was gonna-
I got an answer right.
Oh, you got it right. Do you
You
remember
did.
the question?
Yeah, the question was what Red Wing has, aside from Gretzky, what Red Wing has the most shorthanded goals? And
Gretzky was a Red Wing?
Easy.
No, it was aside from Gretzky, which one is? And I guess Paul Coffey. And you guys turned it into a promo and everything because everybody
Really?
cheered, and I was so happy.
Do you still have it?
Yeah.
Do you really?
It took
That's
Walters
cool.
and
That's
Clark
awesome.
2 hours in that fucking prod
room,
to put
yeah.
it together.
Oh, those prod rooms.
No, you guys made me
The
do
two slowest human beings in the world. You and-
me
you and Clark.
Me and Clark. Yeah. We would
guys
just
are the
laugh so
two-
hard. It would just
No, I'm not just talking about the promo. You guys are just the slowest human beings in the world.
maybe. I don't know.
How long did it take you to order food?
Oh yeah. Food,
Yeah,
food
you were
Both
bad.
of you.
Food
You were
orders.
How
bad.
long did
you were bad?
Yeah.
it take Clark to
That
walk
and the
from
promo.
That was painful.
Yeah.
What?
Painful.
Wait, what?
Walk from the car
To the studio.
Well, maybe if somebody would give him caffeinated coffee when he asked for it.
There was like a year period.
The shittiest thing you've ever done.
well, I
is
was
the
like,
meanest thing
you
you've ever
never
done."
even fucking drink the coffee. I get you.
I know.
So
Yeah.
you're getting decaf, sir.
Yeah, dude, this is so Bentley. This is so Bentley.
Dick move.
Such a
I mean,
dick move. It's hilarious.
I
now looking
co-sign
back
it.
on
I like it. I think it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Oh, I
but
approve too.
I
total
felt
dick
I
move.
felt bad about that.
Yeah.
No, you
Well,
did
years
shit.
later, I did.
Bullshit.
Years later.
I think we got.
Bullshit.
I think we got worse with time. I only speak for myself. I don't speak for other people. But I was high as balls for so many years on that show. I mean, as balls. And so me being slow, me being fucking whatever. There was a train wreck
You
period of
two were
years there.
so slow, though.
Yeah. Food order. I'll give you. You're
Promo.
right. I forgot
promo
about
took
that.
forever.
Who do you think that was? Me or Clark? There was a problem there.
I think there was a
It
little
was
bit of
both.
enabling of speed.
Yeah, that.
And then I think there was a little bit of, if you're going to take so long, I'm going to take longer on both of your accounts. You might tell me I'm wrong.
No, that part I would disagree with you on.
Really?
That,
Okay.
that it would be that like thought out.
Well, and
Okay, that's
Mike,
fair enough.
You guys
I
would
would do
end
that.
up getting the same shit anyways. The
Yeah.
fact that you take an hour and a half to figure out, I'm gonna do.
I never
fucking-
for the life of me understood why he wrote it out.
Who knows?
I can
and
still see
no,
that
I
writing.
wrote it for him most of the
I
time.
know. So why? But he was a pro. He could just walk in there and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, on today's show, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
Tomorrow, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And if it didn't work, then you
Take
do it again.
two.
Yeah.
Or edit.
I never understood, but he had to write
Write
out.
it
I'm
down.
like, no, just be you.
Yeah,
That's what you do.
That paper would have decaf coffee spilled on it. And
Cigarette
8
burns on
cigarette
it.
burns. Yeah.
Do you remember your first time on air, Jimmy?
I vaguely, I was thinking of that on the way here, and I know it was so embarrassing because I think it is on one of those best of CDs.
Yeah.
Where I was
Oh,
talking
really?
to you and Mark and told you a story about, I believe it was my dad caught me beating off.
Yeah, that sounds
And beating off,
airworthy.
and he found a picture of my dick next to some Lions Packers. And he came in, and he just came down.
Thank you, Brandon.
Through this, I was near the computer.
Why's your dad going through your stuff?
Well, that's what
Yeah,
he was looking.
right?
He was looking for a VHS tape, and I had this thing from our
what?
trip to Green Bay, and I just had my dick next to 4 tickets, and he throws it down.
Why?
Well, I go. We thought it was funny. He goes,
Well,
it's
it
not
is.
fucking funny. It
Were you
just-
hard? Were you
No,
soft?
no, I
Yeah.
was soft.
Completely
I was soft.
Now, if Reese did that, would you laugh?
He would
I would
laugh.
laugh.
I would
but,
laugh,
but,
too.
but then I would tell him
bet-
not to fucking
Have you brought
do
it up
that.
with your dad since?
No, I didn't.
Why not? Why not? I love.
Were you-
I love bringing up old stuff to my mom mainly because my mom, believe it or not, has a pretty good sense of humor.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
for
bringing
sure.
up old stuff.
I
Like, hey,
wish
do you
I
remember
could do
this?
that.
Do you remember
I,
that?
I can't. I don't want to relive some of
No.
that stuff because I did some stupid shit.
I remember my.
Yeah, but when you're older, you just.
I know, but
laugh
I
at it.
remember my dad telling me because I was like, yeah, man, these people that shower with their kids and shit. Like, I don't remember you ever showering with us. He's like, no. And I was like, yeah, I don't remember that at all. And he's like, I saw my dad's dick once, and I'll never fucking forget it. And I was like, where did you see your dad's dick? He's like, one of those old urinals at a San Francisco Giants game. And he said, I'm dick height, fucking standing at the urinal.
Oh, God.
And there's
Fucking
my dad's
smell it.
probably unclipped, stinking dick.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh. He's like, and I'll never forget it. I was like, yeah.
Did he hold it for him? I mean, why
No,
was
but
he
he's
so
just standing right
traumatized?
there. There's a giant dick just pissing right next to you. It's like,
Of course, he's hung.
yeah.
yeah, of course,
Probably.
I remember
yeah.
another time too. This was not long after. I used to be able to get on all fours and just fart nonstop. I could fart and suck the air back in and fart it out.
Really?
So I was doing that.
You've
coming-
lost this.
I haven't tried.
The
I
skin?
shit myself nowadays, but I haven't tried it. I haven't tried it in a long time.
Get on the
Try it
table.
now.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
gonna
what I'm
try
saying.
it when I get home. No, I don't have a fart. I got to get one first.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
got to
you can
start.
primer?
Do you remember?
Amateur.
Do you remember
A
when
primer?
I was gonna say it needs to.
It's a primer fart.
Do you
Yeah.
remember when we first got voice to text and we started farting messages to each other?
Oh my god! I
Such a
still
treat.
have farts on my phone.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
It'll never not be funny.
I think like being in the bathroom. I even took some audio of myself shitting.
My first day as an intern, I was in the production studio, and Jim was showing me the morning routine and grabbing the sports cuts, and
Yeah.
he stops and he just pulls the mic down and
I opened up a new cool edit.
Yeah, of
opens up a
course.
new one, saves it, and then I'm like, I'm just watching what he's doing, and then he attaches that fart to about 75 other farts, and he mixes it down, and he goes, okay, we can move on.
I love that. I love that
I'd
people.
love to see that file.
I love people think that we worked so hard because we were there till 2:00 every day. Turns
Yeah.
out, just highly,
Keep in mind-
highly inefficient.
But we used to be very efficient. In the early days, we were.
I think I was always efficient.
You were better than most.
Yeah, Mark was by far the
Mark
most
was.
efficient,
He
for
could get
sure.
dragged into some shit too, though.
Sure.
Do you remember when we were producing Cliff Notes theaters? Do you remember burying farts in those?
Vague.
Do you remember which ones?
Dude,
don't.
if I listened to some of them, I bet I could hear one. But Mark and I, like faintly, really hard to hear, but it'd be like at some point, and we went on a string of like
Yeah,
10
dude.
Cliff Notes theaters in a row where we buried
Oh,
a fart
really?
somewhere
That
in there.
many?
The worst part
I think
about
so.
doing Cliff Notes theater is you get done producing it,
And then Drew.
in your head, you'd be like, okay, what's Drew gonna hate? About
What's he gonna
this?
hate about it?
What's wrong about this?
Yeah.
Because there was always something, and he was always right. but
Yeah.
it was like it would infuriate me because I could never figure out
Yeah.
what exactly is off here.
Yeah.
You know,
And you have so many
there was always
layers
something.
on your. You have so many layers of your audio.
Oh,
if you have to change something, it's like, oh lord.
15 tracks. Did you just play a fart?
Yeah.
Is that one of yours?
Oh, that might have been after the colonoscopy. I recorded all
I
those.
didn't have any. I had
That's bad.
That
They
is
said
the
you
biggest.
have to
that is
fart.
the biggest lie.
Nope.
Ever perpetrated.
My fart woke me up.
So I
woke
asked.
up to farting.
I asked naturally when I was there, like, am I gonna have some sweet farts? And she goes, "Oh no, we don't do it like that anymore." And I just went,
What?
What does that mean?
Yeah,
What do you mean
do
you
it
don't-
old school.
She goes, "Well, they used to put air in you, but we
Yeah.
don't need to do that anymore. There's another
They
way."
did
do
it to me.
Apparently, the guy just took his hands like this to open it. And,
Just went,
yeah. Well, then put on a miner's hat.
That was just your pee hole.
I wish.
Do you remember the worst thinking about Cliff Notes Theater and knowing Drew was going to come in and be like,
I wasn't mad about it.
No,
it was
no,
just
you
it was
knew
like
it was
a
coming.
game where it was like, I know something's
I'm
going to
gonna
be.
fucking nail this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there were times where it's like, is this a head? Is this a mind fuck here?
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Is this a control thing? But in the end, the change it'd be the most minor change, but it would
Yeah.
make a difference.
Let's
And I
make
can
that
tell you-
horn a little lower.
I can tell you what it
ship
usually
horn
is,
a little lower.
and he's 100% right. And you forget this at times, but the most important thing is the words.
The
It's not
words,
the production.
yeah.
It's the words. If you can't
Buried.
tell what is being said, then it's pointless. And he was right.
I
But
learned that lesson.
People hear things differently, though. You always.
Drops. Very, very important. It's like you got to understand that people are going to have windows cracked, road noise, doing 70. The drop has to clear through and be able. And not everybody gets it. I hear other shows and I'm like,
I hate
who the
drop.
fuck is making the call on these things?
Well, let's talk about drop pet peeves. I hate when there's music in them.
Yeah.
I hate when
Oh,
there's-
yes.
I don't like drops of people that are on the show.
Except I will say, hey, I bet you could go for a big old whopper.
Fair enough.
Well, that was at the end.
At the very end,
that.
But you can tell what's being said. But sometimes there's stuff with audio, like it's just you just know, like it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
But it'd kill you to think you watch this movie and there's this great drop, and then you dump it down and there's music playing.
Yeah.
It's like,
South Park's been doing that a lot lately. They've been playing so much music underneath their audio.
But I was never nuts about South Park drops
Well,
because they
other than
sound
Randy. I like Randy.
We
the
never
kid.
used the
Randy,
voice.
yes, the
Yeah,
kid, yes, the
Randy,
adults.
because Randy is a normal voice. Homer is somewhat of a normal voice.
The Simpsons, I'm convinced,
they
the
know.
Simpsons knew
Elgene knows.
that. Well, they knew that morning radio was pulling
Yeah,
these drops
they
and playing them
absolutely
all over, and they left them clean.
Yeah.
like those drops were as clean as you could always
Yeah.
get a Simpsons drop that was clean.
the worst show, and it drives me nuts. Do you ever watch Big
Big
Mouth?
Mouth. Big Mouth is the
God.
worst.
Every
Everything is over.
Every line is clipped.
They step over
is
each
the
other
weirdest-
purposely.
Well, because
Really?
they're trying to fit probably as much.
so quick.
so
in
many
there.
jokes.
Yeah.
really.
But your mind, when you listen to something, you can cut out the last syllable. Your brain completely. That's just
not
what-
not for producers. That drives us
Well,
nuts
that's
to
what
hear
I-
that clip.
You're right.
Oh,
But I mean, it's also when you edit, it's a great thing to know about because it's like, oh, you can
Fade
layer things a certain way. Your people's brain, you can complete the
Yeah.
sentence. But a drop doesn't really necessarily work like that. But how many times do we try to pull things, and it's just like, I hate that this.
see, I would have given up on the
especially-
show.
throw it out.
I'd have said, forget it. Big
I
Mouth,
did.
I'm not
I
doing
haven't
it.
watched the last 3 seasons that they've done. I like the show, but I'm mainly watched it for drops.
It got to the point where I used to I'd watch a movie or the show, but I would just dump down the entire thing and then
Yeah.
just listen to it.
Yeah.
Instead of watching it, trying to time them before.
Sure.
It took me longer, but I'd be like, okay, I can get that clean. And I'd go through and have fucking 40 of them. Then I'd listen to them again and narrow it down to 30, then 20.
What was
and then you'd
cool-
listen to them and take 5 more
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Oh God, I forgot about doing that. Like, here's 50 of them, and it'd be like, I'd keep these 15 and fuck
Yeah.
the rest. But we all had different tastes and movie styles and TV shows, and so it was like, you knew Bentley was going to come in with a batch from The Office,
Sure.
or Mark was going to be paying attention to something over here, like in his wheelhouse, movie related. Like, I feel like we all similar, but a little bit different.
Well, I mean, that old setup, you guys were set up to miss nothing. For example, I'd get in there and I would have all of these recorded shows. Every single one of the late night shows was recorded just in case. Just in case.
Yeah.
If you needed to grab something for it. Every single morning show, the doctors was recorded. Why? Because they might say diarrhea.
Yeah.
So there were
So
times
true.
where Jim would say, okay, Brandon, your job for the day is to listen to the doctors to see if they say anything funny about penises or poop.
Totally.
Okay, and that's what I would
Larry
do all
King.
day.
Larry King every night because Larry
That was
King
on your computer.
That was mine. Larry King was going to eat shit every night, and we had to have it.
The internet wasn't what it was today, and so things
Totally.
didn't pop
Now
up.
it's even like having YouTube TV. I still record all those things because you just never know when they're going to pop up.
Oh,
I can't tell you the
it'll let
last
you
time I
every
watched.
college football game. Just record them all.
Yeah, but every news, like local news, just in case someone says, "Oh, someone said penis on Channel 7 at 5 o'clock,"
Yeah.
and then you have it's just a lot. It's a lot easy. It's taking the art out of it. It's a lot easier now.
It's
Get a lot
way
of-
easier
you
now.
also get a lot of fans who will send something in. I heard this. It could be a drop. Check this out. And so
Yeah.
you'll at least go for it.
There's a lot of really stupid suggestions that come in too. Oh my God, listeners, where it's like, what are you thinking, dude?
Yeah.
They're trying.
Their heart's in the
I don't
right
want to.
place.
The heart's in the right
I don't want to
place.
discourage it, but yeah.
No. But I'm talking back to the old days. when it-
99% of the time they're garbage.
And yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't want to discourage you either. I'm talking about mostly about the old days, pre-internet.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there was internet, but not like everywhere everybody had. And so they'd give you something, and it was like, this isn't even close.
Yeah,
but they were hard to capture.
There's another
They were
sign
hard
I'm getting old because I feel like I came into the industry and the job at a very fortuitous time. What'd you say?
Hot.
You
When
said
I
you
came.
Yeah.
I came really hard into the industry.
Nice.
I just think it was a good time. The internet was new. I knew how to use it. I felt like I was ahead of the game. Now it's like AI.
Yeah.
I'm 48. I'm not learning any AI.
AI.
I'm not going to know how to make a picture or a song. I ain't learning anything new.
You guys are using a little AI, aren't you?
We have a listener.
Yeah, he
we have a
does,
listener
yeah.
who likes to use AI Drew and put them into songs.
And
So-
I've used AI for pictures and stuff, but it's just one of those things where it's like, this is a young
Where do you
man's
start?
game.
Where do you go? Are you
Anywhere.
doing like GPT 4
there's
or 5, whatever
there's
it is?
different
or-
programs.
I mean, they're all almost integrated into the computer now. I mean, Microsoft
Really?
has...
I know
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah,
I
about
don't
these
either.
things.
Yeah,
I don't
mean,
either.
If you work on a Windows, they have a little thing in the bottom, and you can just say, make me...
Oh, but
you know
I
what's
see
funny?
that. I'm like,
Really?
no, fuck you. I'm not using
Yeah,
that.
that.
Yeah, I always
that
get
weird
mad at it
bit.
That's
too.
my point.
Delete.
That's my point. I'm like, I'm not learning this.
Yeah.
I'm an old man. But yeah, no, like, 'cause you can type things in. Although I tried to make a picture of Trump, I think
this
crying. I
the
think this is-
verdict?
Oh, during the verdict,
and
right.
it wouldn't accept it.
Why?
Because of Donald Trump.
No celebrities.
Yeah.
You can't use
Oh.
celebrity likeness because of copyright.
What if you said
Really?
orange face,
But I think
fucking
that's,
bird's
I think
nest
that's-
hair?
I think that's kind of horseshit.
80
because-
years old.
per AI? So like some AIs will let you get away with it, but like the big ones like Bing, Google, ChatGPT, and stuff,
Yeah.
they've been putting nicks on celebrity.
With
lookalike stuff.
DuckDuckGo?
Because, well,
No, they don't have an AI.
Is it because of all the AOC nudes?
You got
Probably.
It. You got
Taylor
it.
Swift's.
That's 100% what it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are going to be there anyways.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to see OC's box.
Yeah, but you
and
don't.
butthole.
But you don't want to be the company that does it, right?
Yeah, but if you're like,
don't wanna
hey,
be
we're
Microsoft.
just
Or you could be the
we're not a
first company
publisher,
to do
we're just
it.
a platform.
You could be the first company to do it
Yeah.
and fucking say,
Yeah, we need creep
come on
AI.
over here.
I feel like if you're going to be in the public eye, it's like your butthole's going to get AI'd. It just is.
Well,
Sorry.
that's what I was going to say about Trump. I mean, these are public servants, right? I mean,
right,
they
right.
should be like, you can use a picture that is, the official White House portrait. You can do
Yeah.
whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
There's no copyright there, but
Yeah.
copyright's just the worst.
Going back to the editing
It is
real
so
quick.
fucking bad. It's
What
the
is?
bane of my existence.
Copyright,
in all-
yeah.
in all
It's a
shapes and
nightmare.
forms. Yeah,
It's a nightmare.
It's impossible to navigate.
That's the one thing. If I had to pick one thing like that sucks the most between radio and podcast is the protection of being able to use music, whatever music
Yeah.
you wanted, anytime you wanted.
That's
like
because there's an NAB and there's nothing
Right.
like that for podcasts.
I don't know why
they don't
there's
need a
not,
license.
though.
They don't need a license. They negotiated that ages ago because there's so many different music licenses. They don't
Yeah.
need them.
Yeah.
They're exempt from them.
But if you had some ASCAP, BMG, whatever for the podcast world, it's like, oh, you have 10 listeners. It costs you 1 penny.
So that's coming. It's going to be.
You
here.
think so?
Oh, TikTok changed that game by licensing it.
Yeah.
So
And then it's
YouTube
it's-
is starting to do it. The problem is that there's no way, because a lot of the things I think we do, we've talked about this numerous times, Brandon. It's like, well, this would fall under fair use, or this would fall under,
Or at
Yeah.
least we think it would.
Nope.
or
it doesn't
would
seem
fall
like those
under
fair use
commentary.
laws stand though for what podcast.
I think
world.
fair use is misunderstood a lot of times, right? When they're like 7 seconds, or
7
it's
seconds,
just-
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not true. That's
No.
just a myth in general.
Well, you're the one.
Is this the deep portion of the show? We're
Yeah,
getting
maybe.
really
You're the one with a journalism
I was
degree
gonna say, like,
from U of M.
journalism?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
What do you have?
Communication.
Oh, me too.
The most worthless degree in the history of degrees.
Never
is
fucking
communication.
needed it.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Never needed it for anything. I
You
didn't.
communicate for a living. There you go.
I mean, I'm glad I went to college. I'm glad
Yeah,
I-
no,
Yeah.
me too.
It was fun to party there.
matriculated.
Sure.
Matriculated.
Learned a big word like matriculated.
Close
But
to
did
Canada.
I need it? No.
So what were you saying? Go ahead, Mark. I
don't
want to. I
even
want to
know.
finish that thought.
It hit me in my head that this is a boring topic.
No, it's not. I think it's fascinating.
He's the one who
It's boring.
stopped it. He's
It's a boring topic.
Then
I
I'll
got
go
some-
back to this because I wanted to ask if
Ask
you
the
remember.
people online if it's a boring topic.
Well, no, I was going to say I got some super chats here. They're all playing member berries with us. We got
Yeah.
one guy,
Yeah.
$10 from Joey Butts. Dudes, remember back in the riff when guys would find funny news articles from all over the place? Remember when the Wiener People story and the old lady's Jesus?
All right.
she got
We
kidnapped?
can shut it down. We can shut it down. That's
When
fine.
another guy.
Thank you, Johnny
told
Butts.
you- I
Same
told
guy came
you.
in too.
Let's kill it here.
I've told
Thanks,
you and I
guys.
told
Nice
them.
talking to you. Well, I'll see you soon,
I
everybody.
really don't like
Reminiscing.
I don't like reminiscing.
No.
That's
He's
okay.
loving it. He did say he's loving it. Like everyone in the chat is enjoying it. And he also said, "Dude, you guys would put fart drops between commercials too." That was for 5
Oh,
minutes.
I do that.
yeah.
Did you catch
I
it?
used to love hearing
Did you
that.
catch the way he says commercials?
Commercial.
Commercial?
Commercials.
Yeah, he's retarded.
I get that a lot.
Yeah.
No, there'd be
Commercial?
I remember
Commercial.
listening to the
What
Drew and Mike
dialect
show.
is that?
I don't know, man.
Are you from here?
Yeah. Born and raised.
I remember you guys used to,
How do you
maybe
say milk?
Toss it over to
Milk.
Doug Podell. Doug
yeah.
Podell would start his first song, and then there'd be farts in that
Well,
first song,
yeah.
and that was
Sometimes
the
trying to
greatest
squeeze
for the
those in
listener.
there.
That's Bentley. I guarantee that's
Well, I used to
Bentley.
do that during Best of all the time. I just throw farts between commercials. No one ever told me not to. Either.
Yeah.
No, I think putting drops in between
Smart.
stop set is brilliant.
Smart.
Right?
Smart. Should
'Cause
be done more often.
Not only does it keep a listener aware, but you kind of almost feel like, oh, this break must be over. There's a couple drops there. When
Coming,
in,
yeah.
In essence, it probably had 12 minutes
I
left.
remember listening, going, I have to listen to these commercials because they're just throwing so many different farts in.
It's a brilliant move.
Playing it over songs, I mean, that's really poor on the person who take. Well, explain how the shift in studios would work. Is that another boring task?
No,
Kind of
not at
boring
all. I
topic.
think people would be
Yeah, that
interested in this.
You'd play a song to go out.
Yeah, well, there you play. So we were in one studio, and Doug was in a different studio. So we had.
So we had our own setup.
Correct.
The Drew and Mike show had our own wing to the
and
building.
there was a button you would take control of.
Mm-hmm.
So your studio was broadcasting, right?
Exactly.
So,
At least
But
that
each-
final song.
Each studio had a fader of the other studio on it, so that's
Right.
why it was seamless. But if the other studio didn't pot
turn
it
it down, correct.
everything that came from that
Yeah.
studio would be played.
so there were times.
So it's kind of on the person who is on air
to pull that
pull it
yeah,
out.
it's
down.
kind of
Yeah.
like
But
fuck
it's
you
so-
if you're not going to do it. I'm going to play a fart.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
And then there'd be a scramble in the other room. Like as soon as a fart would go, I'd be like, "Fuck." God
Yeah.
damn
Well,
it.
there were plenty of times where an interview would be scheduled or something,
Yeah.
and it would or something we.
It was a way to a lot of times get like heads up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put us down because
Yeah.
we couldn't control that. So
I
we
hope
did have
people
something.
understand what we're talking about. Did that make sense? It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he works in audio.
Yeah.
True. And he's sitting right here. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a board right there.
Let's break this down for the time.
I can't believe, and it was such an easy mistake. Here, I don't like reminiscing here. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
How often we would leave the mics up when we hit spots.
You know
Wait,
why?
we?
You know why?
Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
'cause
why?
Drew ran the board. for those
Because
that didn't know.
Drew would have so much shit,
Paper.
newspapers, and it would
papers.
cover up the buttons would be red or green if they were
except
hot or
we
off.
needed to realize that, hey, the monitors are off still,
Yeah.
right? So
right.
why aren't we hearing anything?
So what Mark's
And it-
saying is
and it
when you
led-
turned off the mics, it automatically triggered the monitor. So when we were playing the TV, it would.
So
we
if you
would hear
hit
a
the
sound.
spots or the commercials and you didn't hear them on the
Commercials.
monitor, the commercials, and you didn't hear them in the monitor, you would think you would know that a mic was up, and it led to easily one of the dumbest conversations in broadcast
I know
history,
exactly what it
if
is.
not
all do.
human
People
history.
Yes.
with Jen Danansky
Jen
and Mike
yes.
Clark, right?
It's a miracle. It's a miracle. It's probably the only fucking break in the history of the morning show that a motherfucker, a cunt, did not
didn't
get.
go.
I know.
No,
there was nothing
because the conversation was so boring.
boring. It was about the tower across the
Yeah.
street.
We were all
What's
out
that
of the
bu-
studio,
What's that building over
building?
there?
and then Mike's like trying to figure out what a building was 5 miles away in the distance.
And all
she
he
was
cared,
hot.
she was smoking hot, Jen,
Well,
and
why did she care what that building was?
she was making small talk with Clark.
Yeah.
You know.
But there were other times, I don't know if you remember, I don't want to say who yet, had an argument with their wife over the phone
Oh, really? I don't remember this.
overnight.
Oh.
And it bled through.
Oh,
You
I do
could
remember
hear-
this.
Do you remember who
No,
it was?
I don't
yeah.
remember
What
this.
the
Yeah.
fuck are you talking
Yeah.
about? Like, just F-bombs left and right over the music.
It was out
Right
of
over
safe harbor.
Metallica?
It was out of safe harbor though, so it's okay.
Oh, good point.
That legally you would have been all right after what 10 p.m.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 to 6.
10 to
right?
6. Yeah. Holy shit! I don't think I've
remember
ever
that.
heard that.
I may.
I think you have it.
I think I,
I think
do
you
have it.
Yeah. Just
dying
one of those
to
things
know
like,
who
don't
it
ever
was,
throw
though.
that away.
Yeah.
Well, I remember.
Is it like a normal like everybody would know name?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really? How do I not know this?
Hey.
Oh, well, that
Why
got
don't,
away.
why don't you just say it's
Even I know.
Why don't you just say it's Screaming Scott, who's currently on 94.7?
All you have to go is, and I got it.
Oh, I was thinking overnights, and I was like, yeah,
Had to be.
obviously.
Speaking of
The
commercials,
nicest guy-
do we have a commercial break now? 'Cause I'm
Do you
going
want to
the
take
bathroom.
one? Go ahead.
No,
Just
I'm
go
just going
piss
in.
right there in the bathroom.
and I'm going to wipe.
We'll talk about
I'm going
you.
to wipe in a different bathroom.
That's fine. Yeah.
We can all go look in a minute. We can all go look in a minute. There was.
No. To go straight ahead to your left. I wonder if Mark will remember. I know he will. And I think it was just Mark and I that would have been a part of putting the like blah 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 CD together.
Mm-hmm. That was right before.
You started. Probably?
I started like right when it was released.
That was a fucking nightmare, and I don't know if he remembers that, but if you look on the bottom of that CD, it says produced at Red Room Studios, and that was just a room in the house Mark and I lived in that Mark had painted the walls red, and so we called it Red Room Studios. And
was that in Royal Oak?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, the amount of like, okay, we've got it, and it would be like one long hour-long track, and Drew would come in, Johnny Come Lately for 10 minutes and be like, nope, I don't like that. Let's get that out of there and put some, and you're just like, oh, fuck.
Spent all this fucking
day
time
with headphones on, just meticulously, like, this is perfect.
I don't remember which Cliff Notes theater it happened one time where, because you'd have multiple tracks.
Yeah.
And I think Mark was working on his fucking Cool Edit on his computer sucked. It would crash all the time.
Yeah.
So everything was pretty much edited, fucking crashed. Unsaved.
Yeah.
Like, you still had the raw audio,
and it was so
had
easy to
put
save.
it together.
All the edits
again.
are now gone. You know,
Yep.
that's the work.
Everything was, and I wish
Everything
I
you've done is
remembered
for naught.
what it
Well,
was.
do you think he'd remember?
He may. I'm wondering, do I remember, was that the house on Campbell you were talking about?
Yeah.
I think I remember the address, too. Do you remember it? 1502?
Yeah, it sounds about right.
I don't know why.
That does sound about right. He would know, for sure.
He better.
He's taking a giant
Well, I was going to say, while we're waiting for him, I got another $5 super chat from Joey Butts. Who would give the okay to send drops down the line at people when interviews would start and make us Dreamweaver? I couldn't wait for the farts.
A lot of times, what I recall,
the phone call drops.
well,
when we
Drew
call
would be the
people?
one hitting them, but I remember, anyone between Mark, Jim, or Mike.
I would say Mike,
raise
you
up
did
their
it
hand.
the
We had a
most.
system that had 8 different drops that you could preload.
Six.
6 was
Six,
it?
yeah.
Okay, and
In
so
a
Mike
preview.
or Mark
Yeah.
would pull up. Hey, hit
number 6.
Hit
Hit number
6,
5.
and then
yeah.
Drew would hit it and stuff like that. And you're looking for gaps.
Yeah. I was going to ask you specifically because I think, do you guys all play drops on the Drew Lane podcast?
Mark and I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's got totally different than the way we did it on the Drew Lane show because Drew always had a board that would fire, he could fire all those cubes. What was that system called again?
Audio Vault?
Audio Vault.
Yeah.
So those audio vaults, but now, and the beauty of that is Drew could set it up. Like you could go 1, 2, 3, and Drew would see, I've got Homer saying this, I've got this drop, that drop, this music bed. He knew what it was, and then he could set it up and deliver it any way he wants. And so that's why it always sounded so perfect. Now, we were all really good at being fast. People always wonder how those drops got in so fast.
Yeah.
We got really good at
Even
memorizing
before
numbers.
that, in the old building, when you had the huge fucking book and you had to type in.
Do you
Do you remember the numbers for sports? What numbers? It was?
I don't.
5,600?
23,500?
Yeah.
23,500.
I used to have them all memorized.
Dude, I had them all memorized too. Like any of the really popular ones, we probably had hundreds, if not thousands, of
I
those
still
numbers
have the
memorized.
book. I still have the book with all the numbers.
Wow.
When I
Yeah.
when I was
But
leaving,
it's got to be hard for you guys now. Sorry to cut you off, but it's got to be really hard because you're.
It's different.
Yeah.
I mean, because
Do you like it better having more control over the drops? Because I know it could be frustrating too when you're like, Drew, fire this fucking drop. It's perfect. Then he wouldn't do it.
I remember you hit it, maybe
harder.
firing it a couple times.
it's
I don't know.
different.
It's tough to try to fit them in without stepping over people.
See, I can fit them in because I can talk.
And-
Right.
I talk more than Brandon does, so it's easier to.
And a lot of times when Mark will fire them, he'll look up at my screen and notice, okay,
can-
Brandon's not clicking any drops, so I can fill my own in right now. Or if I'm taking control of the computer, he'll know to hit those drops.
So
But
wait, do you guys not have individual control of?
we
He
check.
has the board. I mean, he
Right.
But I can turn up. and
You have
I
your
can-
own
I can-
pot. You can.
Yeah.
I can. Well, no, I don't.
You just
he-
got a laptop.
Well, I
right?
keep
No,
Mark's
what I'm
Yeah,
spot.
but I
saying,
but I
yeah,
can turn it up and down. I mean,
Brandon
I have volume
has.
control.
Yeah.
Brandon
Yes.
also
Yeah.
has
I'm
you
sorry.
pot it
yeah.
up, so but you can turn your volume down.
Yeah.
It's tough though, because some of them drop and they, I hate it when they clip sometimes, and you can tell the frustration with
all your
Drew,
fault.
and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I fucked that one up, and so
That's why you should move to Apple. But whatever.
you fuck some up, but then when they hit, it's pretty satisfying when you get one that hits pretty good and you get a couple people laughing. So it's
Yeah.
fun.
There's no better feeling than like the perfect drop landing in the perfect spot when you get that window. There is something
and when it
awesome
leads
about that
into
feeling.
a further conversation. Like there's one I remember. There was a fart being played, and I think Clark may have said it.
Boners and farts
It
with you.
sideswiped another fart, and you kept playing it back and forth, and like these farts, and Drew just firing. I think at the time sometimes you'd be like, why are you playing all these drops? And then you listen to it, you're like, this is fucking hilarious.
No, I mean, he is still great at making the mundane interesting. I remember you were probably in the hotel room, but we were in Vegas for the morning show boot camp.
Oh yeah.
And Bob Rivers was having a panel. He was leading the panel and talking about
Looney Tunes.
So the guy that Drew's buddy.
Seattle-based guy.
He was Seattle at that time, but Drew took over for him at WAF
in Boston.
Inherited Zip, and and Bob, my favorite fun fact about Bob is that he had the airplane that the Barefoot Bandit stole.
Yeah,
Remember the Barefoot Bandit?
wild.
Remember that story?
That's
The Barefoot
No,
Bandit?
not really,
It's
but the
wild.
name, yeah.
The Barefoot Bandit, this
Phenomenal.
kid who kept stealing airplanes, and he was on the run forever. And
He
there was,
stole Bob Rivers' seaplane.
yeah,
He
one of
learned
them
to
was
fly
Bob
using
Rivers.
Microsoft.
Really?
Yeah, it's
What, just
wild
like a
story.
simulator? And
And then he could fly
hilarious.
planes, and he stole
that
Rivers,
easy.
Which it's why can you just walk into? You don't need a key.
Yeah.
I guess not. But
Or
anyway,
you just leave a key in there.
I guess. I don't know.
There has to be a key.
He just
right?
hotwired it.
I think there is a key. I think most pilots just leave it in there.
Yeah,
because,
not expecting
because they're
someone to come
pilots.
steal their
In the
plane.
under the visor.
that's a kind of maniac gonna try and fly a plane.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why you could leave your keys in there.
Although
like,
I do know
what
someone who
asshole is
said the
gonna do
plane
that?
always wants to fly itself. So maybe that's the key.
I've made Sawfield lanes.
So what?
It's so true.
Where were you going with this?
So Rivers did
Symposium,
Is
a
that the
panel?
right word? Yeah,
Panel?
he was up on the dais. No, but he was talking about it, and he started. I think I was kind of spacing out, and he mentioned the Drew and Mike show and how they did something called kicking the turd. And I'm like, what is he going with? What does that mean? And he just meant that, like say you're walking, which is just the weirdest this analogy is still bizarre to me. He goes, imagine you're walking down the sidewalk and there's a dog turd there, which I'm like, okay, that doesn't really happen that
No,
often.
I've seen it happen, but yeah.
But it's never in the middle of the sidewalk. It's usually in the grass. And he's like, and you can look at it from every different angle, and it's always a turd. But when you start looking at it from different angles, maybe you kick it, it does something different. And it's like, okay, that analogy kind of works because you can take something that is pointless, that is throwaway, and just dive at it from every thing. I mean, I'll give you another example, and it was one of my favorite things on the show that we did recently was when Maz claimed that. You were there that day, Jim.
You caught him in a lie.
Yeah,
He just said he
remembers.
remembers where he was when Hank Gathers died, and he was at Cedar Point, which whatever, throw away. But I'm sitting there.
Who
going,
said that?
Mazaway, Tom
Okay,
Mazaway.
yeah.
I'm sitting there in
Instead
my
of letting
head,
it go, it's like, wait a minute, we got to dig deep.
Well, in my head, I'm sitting there going, how would you have found out at
That
Cedar
was
Point?
Yeah, great point.
90.
Yeah.
Like
no
Yeah,
internet.
there's no cell phones. There's no internet.
announcing
no
that
tickers.
over the.
I still don't think it would be that big of a story to
So
go
you've-
word of mouth. So I called
So
him up.
you're saying he's a liar. That didn't
Yeah,
happen.
but then we had fun,
Fair.
just acting like how he would have found out. It's like, I make sure all hands are inside the card at all times. Hank Gathers died this morning. Enjoy your day here at Cedar Point. But you're just kind of riffing on that. And then it really hit me that, wait a sec, Hank Gathers played college basketball. That's a winter sport.
Yep.
So we looked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Hank Gathers died March 4th,
March,
and
yeah.
Cedar Point wasn't even open.
Busted.
But I mean, there's
Hilarious.
a prime example of just a throwaway, pointless story nobody
Yes.
cares about, probably less than copyright in podcasting.
Yep.
And yet you can kick it around and joke with it and make something.
No,
out of it.
it's
And
there's a
nobody's
lesson in there about
better at
how-
that than Drew.
Drew is fantastic at it, making the mundane interesting.
Yeah, no,
it's
really
it's a
good at it.
there's a talent to that, and I feel like you can learn that you can learn to be like no door is officially closed. Like there's
Sure.
always a crack somewhere where you can go, and you never know when someone's going to give you some gold, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
But there is something
Like, it just does. It
inside
happens.
to know, like, I can't do this every time because then
Yeah.
it's overkill. So
Right.
But Drew finds a way. I mean, there's the simple video of a 4-year-old almost getting hit by a hockey puck.
Oh,
and
fuck that kid, though.
Drew turns it into a masterpiece by
Yeah.
ripping the kid to shreds.
Yeah.
He just.
But
finds
that's
a way.
another thing. The more you look at it from different angles, the more absurd it gets. Because it's like,
Yeah.
well, why is that person filming not trying to catch the hockey puck that's about to kill their kid?
Right. One of the things
know?
that we've always done, I think, that comes off really well in that same vein is here's the video of the kid almost getting to, like, take the one part of that video that means the least and make that the focus.
100%.
And that just lock in on that, the kid's fucking shoes, and all of a sudden you have something. And it's like, this is...
Well, Drew always says, and I get a little obsessed with it, and he always compares it to Clark was the same way. Things in the backgrounds of photos. Like, I never look at the person.
Clark trained us for that.
Huh?
Clark trained us
even
for
even
that.
Biden shit in his pants today. I saw an idiot with his mouth.
All the
open
old
in
people behind
background.
him,
And start looking.
And he
at
should have
that.
blamed it on all of them.
Yeah.
I got to interject right here. We just got a $100 super chat.
Holy shit.
From Leonard Joseph, listening from Montgomery, Texas. Drew Blows, longtime listener,
Oh, wow.
first time caller, blah blah blah.
Oh, that's cool.
Long time
Oh, yeah,
first time.
thank you,
Thank
Lena.
you. Wow, that's impressive.
Thank you.
In the Red Room studio, blah blah blah. Right?
Yeah,
So,
there you
yeah.
go. Red Room Studios. You remember that?
1402 South Campbell.
Oh,
1402.
I said
Oh,
15. I said 15.
1502.
Fuck.
Do you remember?
Sorry, whoever lives there now.
I was saying this when you went and took a giant shit in the other room. I was saying...
I went through all your drawers, too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Anything good in there?
No, like dog shampoo.
Oh, is there some dog shampoo in there?
You
There,
really-
there
You're
could
looking
be.
for that.
Yeah, there could be. Most of that shit
I
should
opened
be
I
empty.
opened the one door and I go, there's too much stuff in here. I'm leaving.
No, but what I was saying was, I bet Mark remembers what a pain in the ass editing blah 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 was.
It was the
CD.
worst.
and
Yeah.
and like how many
No, it was
fucking
awful. I hated it.
hours and hours we spent.
I hated it.
Yeah, and do you remember how
I don't,
frustrating
like,
it'd be?
I don't like that CD for a lot of. I'm not joking. I
Yeah.
do not like that.
Why
CD.
don't you don't like the content, or you don't like the way
It brings
came
back
out?
physical memories.
It triggers me.
Yeah.
It is triggering.
It's
I
my
get it.
central.
PTSD?
It's my central trauma of this. No, because it was it was just a pain in the ass to put together.
Yeah,
and there was stuff that happened after the fact that I was not happy with.
yeah. Oh,
I mean, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I do.
It was just
I do.
like, okay, so
I remember signing
Look,
some of
I-
those CDs
I
and
mean-
letting the Sharpie drift a little longer. and-
yeah.
yeah. We'll tell you
Yeah,
later.
I'll figure.
Some people took some credit
That they shouldn't
that
have.
they shouldn't have, and
Producer credit?
yeah, and it was sent to be printed as this,
And then
it
it
was
changed.
done, and then it changed, and
To
that
this
CD
day,
almost
that is-
didn't get released.
That is the biggest slap in my face, I think.
Oh,
this whole-
mine too.
My whole career, because it's like,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
really, I did not just the editing.
Oh, and it
the-
wasn't
the
one
production
person.
On it. I did. It was two people.
and it was like that person too, motherfucker.
well, that person
really?
was way worse.
Yeah.
I feel like I
way
would
worse.
guess one of them.
Well, go ahead, guess. I'll be open about it.
Nikki.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why she.
Why? So if you look at the
Really?
back of that blah 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 CD, at the bottom
The
of
other
it,
one. The other one's
it's
Doug.
Doug.
Doug,
Okay, that was my
I can
guess.
accept a little bit. I don't know why we were taken off.
Yeah, and
I mean,
so it said
we're-
produced by, and it was Nikki and
It's a kick in the
under-
balls, man.
And
I
it was
understand.
like,
I'm not just saying this. I do understand why Podell would be on there to a degree, but to take us off in place of
Yeah.
that, it has always rubbed me the wrong way. And,
the good thing
but
about it
I mean,
was
it doesn't matter.
Drew
now. It
hit
doesn't
the
matter.
fucking.
He did.
He got fucking pissed, and that CD almost didn't come out. We almost threw away literally 25,000 copies of that disc.
That
Drew
would
was like,
have made me more mad though with all the time.
Yeah, well, all the time and
I
effort there was-
spent on it. Yeah.
But like we're talking about at the time, you're talking about CDs with jacket sleeves and artwork, and like we'd handpicked all this stuff. Everything was written. Drew wrote all the
the
copy,
notes,
all
yeah.
the notes, and then it was like, here's how this goes to print. And then it comes back, and it's all in these beautiful cases, and they're it's packaged, each one cellophaned properly, individually, and it's like on the back of it, boom, and it's like that
fuck?
didn't go to press like that, and it was
what does
like,
it matter? But
yeah,
I mean,
it was done.
that's
There was
probably
nothing
the-
you could do about it, and it was kind of a pissing match. Like, what are you gonna do? And it was like,
But that so.
and I love
I
Doug,
don't
and you
really-
love Doug.
Oh,
Whatever,
yeah.
who cares? But at the time, you know how it is when
Yeah,
you're like,
you're
man,
younger,
you
too,
work
like-
hard
you're
on
younger,
something.
you work hard. It's like, come on, man, really? We don't get paid the fucking massive bucks. Like this
Right.
was our opportunity to be like, hey,
I
so
did-
it's
it
Well,
just-
being in that business, I mean, look, you don't get into it without wanting to be recognized for your work to a small
course.
degree. I mean, you know me, I never
No.
really cared
No.
that much about it.
Yeah, but
To
it
a-
still
to a disturbing
matters.
degree. almost.
because
You're-
I've always said, hey, those that need to know
No.
what work gets done, no.
yeah.
That's what kind of pissed me off about it. It's like, no, this one I did a lot of work on.
Yeah.
And I feel like two of the people that should have known that didn't know that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, I totally.
But Drew's
totally,
always had our back.
always.
You know,
I-
we wouldn't be doing that. I don't think I would be doing this still if it wasn't for him, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't,
I remember stuff like when they were like, yeah, we need Drew and Mike to sign their new deal. And I've talked about this before. I'm probably boring some people, but where it was like,
I'm excited to hear this. I don't know where this is going.
Well, when they signed, when it was like, yeah, sign their new deal, and they were like, no, take care of our guys. Take care of our guys with their contract. And they were like, yeah, no, well, we're going to get to them next. We are, but we need to sign you guys. And Drew knew they're going to fuck our guys over unless we hold out. And you fucking do right by them, pay them, and they did.
I've never asked them, and I don't know if I ever would, but I wonder if a lot of that has to do with what happened when Rob got fired and how pissed off he was about it.
Yeah, could be.
Like, it's like, okay, that is never happening again.
Yeah.
Rob Schaefer, the producer before you guys.
Yeah. Yep. Who got blown?
Did you guys overlap at all? Because before
me.
Yeah.
Rob taught me a lot.
Rob taught me a lot too. Mm-hmm. Yep. And Rob was good. Rob was talented. Rob was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Rob
could also be his own worst enemy.
Yeah, he was a loose cannon, and there were some things,
it's stupid the amount of politicking that a person has to do in a show.
Right.
But, when a show bills that much.
Yeah. And the show was getting bigger and bigger every day, and there was stuff like we'd be on a cherry picker at an event. And
I wasn't.
No, you weren't. No. But yeah.
I weighed too much.
Oh, stop! But all of a sudden there are thousands of people showing up at the Silverdome, and it's like, holy fuck! Radio Row is empty, and then we've got this massive swarm of people, and we're drinking, and we're kids, and Schaefer launches a beer bottle into the crowd and hits some chick in a wheelchair in the head.
That was the 90. That was the 97 Wings.
Was it the Wings one? Okay, yeah, whatever it was.
But it was
like
already crippled.
Stuff like that happens, and then you're like. They'd had enough and blew him out. And
he butted heads with people.
Yeah, but that stuff didn't help.
I don't think that's a secret. No, not at all. But I remember, then they let him go. Drew had back surgery, stenosis.
Yeah.
98? Is that 97 or 98?
Something about that, yeah.
Yeah, so he was gone 6 months.
Yes, because I left. I interned in it would have been 97, dude, because I wasn't back very long before when Rob was fired.
I'm going to battle you on this. I'm almost positive it was 98.
I think and I wasn't there, but I think
because I didn't graduate college till 98. And so I was.
But you interned before that.
We lived in Royal Oak then.
Yeah, when did you intern? 97?
January 2nd, 97 was the first day.
Okay.
January what?
2nd, day before my 21st birthday.
Okay. So I interned in September of 95 for like 7-8 months, and then left.
The Beagle?
I did Mike and Mike, and then Mike and the Beagle, and then Kalamazoo. So I was gone for roughly a year, and then I came back.
They brought you back,
and I thought
worked with Trudy, right?
Yes, yes. And the
show was growing.
The show, we were still playing songs.
Yeah,
at that
really,
point. Yeah,
at that point,
still doing a song an hour. Well, when I was an intern, we were maybe by 97.
we weren't. Drew was done doing that then.
Okay. But I want to say Rob was not there fucking 5 months before they blew him out.
What do you mean?
That when I came back in 97,
because you came back right before the playoffs,
right?
Yeah, but I don't think that because I didn't get hired full time till October of 98.
Do you remember them calling us each in individually and giving us raises? And
they did it during the show.
Yeah,
which is
it's crazy,
pretty wild.
Wait, during the show?
During the show,
Rob,
end of the show, 9:00 hour.
Rob left, came back in. He goes, "I guess got fired. See you later," and left. I'm like, "What? What do we do now?"
Yeah. And Mark and I are just fucking kids, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, 23. You were probably 22.
Not ready for that.
Not ready for that. And Drew, they didn't tell Drew. And they're like,
he's still doing the show.
They're like, at this point,
at that point, and then
my recollection is,
I remember in a
Drew
break,
knew me as an intern, okay, and then I'd been back for a couple months. And
I was
Mark,
part-time.
Mark was an intern part-time, and very talented. It was obvious how talented you were, and hard it was. I saw it.
I don't think so.
You were. And
a monkey could have done it.
No, a monkey could not have done it. No.
Thank you, Jim.
But seriously, it was like, but for Drew, he's got one of the biggest shows that's growing certainly in Detroit and honestly in America. And all of a sudden you take his fucking producer, throw him away, don't tell him, and now you give him someone that you knew was a fucking intern.
Idiots,
and Mark, and like, these are your guys, good luck.
Yeah.
And Drew was fucking, you're probably right that he was like, never again.
And it was when he was gone with his back.
Stenosis of the, spine.
Lower spine. Because that's when Zane came in.
Eric Zane?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Schaefer was there for that. Oh, my God, dude.
Which I think was part of the problem.
Yeah.
And I've said
Schaefer
this
wanted
before,
that mic.
and he should have
Yeah.
gotten it. He really should have.
Yeah, probably.
You know, I mean, it's funny. I've never asked Eric about it. I would love to know what he would think.
We'll see Eric in October.
Yeah, I wonder.
I like him a lot nowadays too.
Well, sure.
I interviewed him, had him on. He's
but-
dude. At the time, it was fucking
He was in an unwinnable position.
totally.
That being said, he still accepted the job.
Is it
that
true
being
they
said,
did
I don't
that-
blame him for accepting that job.
Is it true that he wasn't the guy they wanted? That it was his partner?
I don't know
I've
about
heard that. The reality is
I
they
didn't know
wanted
that.
his partner. Eric might have told me this. That they didn't want him and they fucked it up and called the wrong guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we're stuck with Zane. I don't know if that's true. I have heard that though.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
never had heard that.
Yeah.
Well, there's no write that
Which
down.
would kind of make sense because Eric Zane never really fit with that show.
I don't
never.
know. I don't know who would have.
Not many people, but certainly not him at that time.
Yeah, that's not an easy thing to do.
No.
See, I wasn't there.
But then Drew came back.
Were you
Of things
listening then?
yes, but I'm thinking of things I heard too, like stories of things that went on.
Yeah.
Was there a diary or something?
Yeah,
at that
diary. Sitting out by the tree.
Journal.
Journal.
Sure.
No, dude, it was so bad. Eric was fucking, remember having lunch by himself out at that tree? Oh. Like, it was bad, dude. Listen, I've busted Eric's balls about a lot of this shit. We're not talking out of school here.
No, I know. It's just looking back and it's like,
We were young, dude. We were really young. What were we going to do? It was like, we're going to side with Clark
Yeah, and you're gonna
Trudy and Rob.
pile on.
Like,
Well,
why
all-
weren't we going to
that's
side
all
with
we
Clark
knew.
and Trudy
Yeah,
and
but I
Rob?
mean, that's what I was saying about Rob is that should have been his seat.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you.
You know, but
Yeah.
then when it's not, I don't know if he really took it the best.
Yeah, I don't remember how he reacted, but that wouldn't have been.
There was some screaming. There was some.
Really?
Oh.
Him and Podell or Zane?
It wasn't Podell. No, it wasn't Zane. I know he got into it with Eric.
Oh,
Yeah.
a lot.
And I saw Rob not that long, maybe
Seriously?
2 years ago. Yeah, he went to. He was at the little house in Ann Arbor for a football game
What?
because his son plays football down in
Oh, you
Florida.
remember seeing him, but not fucking going with me last year. Okay.
Did you go? What game?
Last
What
year.
game did we go to?
Indiana.
Fuck. I don't
They didn't
remember.
play Indiana last year.
It was
did
like
they? I don't even know. They
I
maybe
want to say
they
it was
did.
36-0.
Dude.
I was laughing to myself when I was taking
You
a shit.
saw
When I was taking a
Rob
shit in your bathroom, I
Yeah,
was laughing
sure.
to myself because about the whole reminiscing thing, and then I reminded myself that I just watched the 1996 Michigan Ohio State. I was telling Brandon about it. I'm like, so I guess there's one thing I like reminiscing about, looking back on. It's old
Dude,
football games.
I'd love to talk to Schaefer.
Yeah.
Like, did you talk to him? And
Yeah, uh-huh.
Really? He and I one afternoon did finish the show, and at like noon. Remember, he lived off right
Camborne in Ferndale.
Ferndale. Yeah.
Oh.
Lived right by the station. He was dating Fran at the time.
Yep.
And
Oh, when he had his house, it was a different road, but yeah.
yeah, I was
Republic.
thinking, yeah, Republic.
Yeah.
Yes.
His apartment was on
Oak Park.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oak Park off Republic, and Rob and I go to his house, and Rob would just break out the whiskey. Next thing you know, Rob and I are
Yeah.
fucking hammered. It's
Oh,
2 o'clock in the afternoon.
The most underrated thing about working on a morning show is day drinking.
Day drinking. So he and I get hammered, and Fran comes
serious.
home.
This is the best.
I'm not kidding. At this point, Rob is so drunk, he's got his pants off, and he's got his dick out, and
It's in your mouth.
He's spreading his ball bag. He's spreading his ball bag, and he's
okay.
poured water
Yeah,
into
he's
his
doing the
bag,
bird
and he's
bath.
going, bird bath.
Yeah.
I got a bird
really?
bath. And she walks in the door. I'm sitting on the couch, shit faced.
Licking from it?
Rob's got his dick out, and she's like, what the fuck did I just walk in?
Probably
It's
after-
like, bird bath.
That would have been the time after we interviewed the puppetry of the penis, I'm guessing. Right?
Oh, God, yeah.
Because he was
makes
there for
sense.
that.
Yeah, puppetry.
The Australian guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But which is just basically a bunch of ways for guys to show off how big their
Yeah,
dicks
the
are.
wrist
The
watch and the
Kentucky
hamburgers.
wristwatch.
Yeah.
Turn that.
Yeah.
I remember, speaking of day drinking. There
I
was a
wish I
period
could have done
when
some
I
of
was still interning. It was an old building, but there was a Jaeger phase where I'd run out. I'd
Yeah.
have to run. I think I just turned 21. Like, hey Bentley, can you go get it? Or Clark would be like, hey, my man. He called me my man for like a year. Didn't know my fucking
He didn't know who
name.
you were, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh, my man. But then I'd have to go get it. I'd go get a fifth of Jaeger, and you guys
Yeah.
be recording shit and like
Doing shots.
shots of Jaeger with some Red Bull. I think there was Red Bull.
Yeah,
too.
probably. Probably.
But I was so excited to do that. Like, yeah, let's start drinking some Jaeger.
Why not? Then we'll drive home. Yeah.
Like an hour drive, not me.
Going back to our first appearances on the show, so we've heard your two. We finished yours, right?
Yeah, I was just beating off.
You don't remember? It was a really good story.
Yeah, no. I remember now. Do you remember yours, Mark? Do you know the first time you
I
made
got
it?
a fan here who gave us a bloof about it. He said Fellhauer's first day was screening calls for Howard Cosell.
Oh, my God. I think you're right.
That's from Dan Evans in our chat.
Are you shitting me, Dan Evans?
He's got the audio then.
Dan knows.
He's got the audio.
Dan would know, yeah.
How would Dan know?
He is
Because
he has the archive. He remembers everything.
Yeah.
He sends us stuff from '96. Hey, you talked to him.
Because someone else has the masters and can't pull them. How did you end up with all the masters, and why won't you let us digitize them?
I will. I want to
Is this
digitize
for
them
me?
with you.
Can I
Yeah,
ask?
of course it is.
Whoa,
I think
you got the Canadian stuff. That's nice.
I got to pee, too.
Yeah, go piss,
Niagara
dude.
wine or
Is that?
water?
I just got it. I think I got it at Lowe's, dude. When I ran up there for one of my.
Where else would you
runs.
buy water from?
Yeah, well, I've been making so many runs to the goddamn store for construction. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, my first time, and maybe Dan will fact check me and find out, be like, no, dude, you said something a month earlier, blah, blah, blah. But I was an intern at the time, and I want to say it was super early in my internship, and Keith Richards' dick ended up in Playgirl magazine. And it came out that morning that had happened. This Rolling Stone is nude in Playgirl magazine. And Drew sent me to the party store in Oak Park to buy the fucking magazine. This is pre-internet. You don't have it. And then I obviously had a cell phone, made me put the fucking guy working the counter on the phone.
There it is.
And they wanted to hear on air me ask for the Playgirl.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, back then it was like, you're a homo, if you're asking for Playgirl magazine.
It's kicking
no
the
offense,
turd,
Gary.
man.
Kicking the
It's
turd.
another way to look at
And so
it.
this guy's like, well, this guy, from what I remember, this guy was, Drew's asking him, like, what does he look like? Do you think he's gay? The guy asking for the magazine, that's, blah, blah, blah. Something along those lines. But that's what I remember as being like the first.
You must have been good
mention.
at it, because I think you had to go out and buy the Brad Pitt one, too.
Did I? Mm-hmm. Maybe. Mm-hmm. It was definitely the I believe it was Keith Richards.
But I remember,
Rolling Stone's first
someone
one.
had to go out and buy Brad Pitt.
Well, it depends when that
maybe
came
it was
out.
Derek Dutton.
That could be. I wasn't there for most of Derek Dutton. That's when I was doing.
Jim,
How do I know that?
Who is
Jim,
Derek Dutton?
When did Brad Pitt? When did his penis show up in Playgirl?
I think that was 98.
I don't know why you would know.
Brad Pitt he was squatting down over near hardwood floors, right?
I thought he was just outside. Wasn't he
was outside on a
Was he
balcony. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could probably Google all this and figure it out. But
That's
right
what I'm
now.
doing.
are you
97. I almost fucking said 97.
Oh, there you go.
for which one? Is that Brad Pitt?
August 97.
So I could have been back
Could've been
and done
you.
that.
Could've been-
Yeah, it could have been me.
Could have been Derek. He was there.
Derek crossed over with us briefly
Yeah.
around that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he an intern?
Yeah.
Well, he got paid.
Did he?
Yeah. Yeah, he got paid until about Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't part of the
How do I know
show,
that
was he?
name?
Was he part of? Was he
Yeah.
on the? I know he hung out with us a lot. And was-
Yeah. No, he was utilized.
Okay. Yeah, I was
like
gone for
Derek.
most of that.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure. For sure he is. I remember he was a super Rugburns fan. And he and I bonded over the Rugburns for many years after that.
Yeah.
Going to shows.
He was always high, too. That's the other thing.
Yeah. A lot of high people.
It's like, why is it taking Derek a half hour to go get food that's 5 minutes away? I'm back reeking of pot.
I think we all were pretty lazy at
Reeking
times, dude. We were fucking around. The amount of times when it was like, I forgot to give Drew the change back.
Oh, God.
I had to make so many runs. I remember Nello's. You guys went through a Nello's phase, and waiting on Mike and Mike to get their order, and making sure this was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm
right.
so sorry about that. That's
No,
so
you're not.
rude.
No, it's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
No, you're
It's
not.
fine.
Dude, as I get older, it's shitty.
I think I had Brandon.
yeah.
I think I gave Brandon $20 when to go buy
Gum.
Yeah,
He gave me
I
$20.
I need some gum. Here, go buy $20.
I don't want
Yeah.
any spearmint. I don't want any peppermint. I want fruity flavors.
The best was
Sounds like me,
Drew
fruity
throwing
flavors.
down. Wait, what would he say? Black chip and play.
Black chip and play.
And that fucking order would be so big.
Everybody would double their order.
If I go
immediately.
get it, I'm like, oh sweet, there's gonna be $60 left over, and it's like fucking $97 order. Like, god damn it, I only got $3.
Yeah, if
out
you
of it.
even gave, like, for the longest time, it was like all the food would show up, and then you just throw Drew's change on top of the styrofoam next
And
to him.
he'd always get scrambled eggs and fucking
Bacon.
toast
Bacon,
and
yeah.
bacon and hash browns.
And
That's
hand
it.
pie.
That time, oh my god, that was like a
That
basket.
time, multiple
It
times.
wasn't multiple times.
and pie.
So we would order occasionally from Big Boy.
That was big boy. Okay.
Yeah, it was always Big Boy. And I think they would just give you a pie. Like if you ordered so much.
I think you're right.
Probably,
yeah, like a
right?
strawberry. Or
Strawberry
you got to choose
or-
strawberry or banana or whatever it was.
Coke or like chocolate cream.
Yeah, chocolate cream pie.
And it would be sitting right next to
I
Drew.
think it was a chocolate cream pie.
Most of the time it was. It wasn't just one time.
No, it was multiple times.
It was multiple times.
Yeah.
And to the point where it'd be like, let's see if he does it again. And we'd set the pie next to him. But we never had utensils.
I swear he did it with an ice cream cake once, too. I
gotta tell you,
remember that.
I've done it since then because
No, we haven't even said what he really did. What he did.
so he would use his hand as the
spoon.
yeah, the spatula, and then just eat it with his hand. It was hand pie.
Do you remember the fucking
And Ron
jelly
DeSantis
bean?
gets gets so much shit for eating pudding with his fingers. I'm like, well, you've never eaten pie with your hand.
Never had
Fucking do
hand
it.
pie? Come on. Yeah, the jelly
The
beans.
jelly beans.
Like
was-
the Harry Potter fucking vomit. There was
Boogers.
vomit, booger, snot, grass,
rotten eggs.
But they
They
had
were so
regular ones
gross.
in there. There were watermelon and there were
They were
normal
so
ones
gross.
mixed in.
And he ate them all.
And they were so
He
gross.
ate them all.
But I
ate
just
'em all.
remember him going like, "Oh, jelly beans," and like just eating them. We're like, "What the fuck?"
When he says he has no sense of
Nasty.
smell,
He
he
means
has no
None.
sense of smell.
I think Mike. I think it was your joke. You mixed them all together, and that was period. That was the flavor of that. If you fucking mix them all together, that's fucking
Christ.
menstruation right there.
They were
Did you
so,
put some tin
it
in
was
it?
one of those where
Aluminum foil.
that game was not bullshit where it was like
Yeah.
you'd guess like, oh, am I going to get blueberry or poop? And dude, it was they were so fucking
so
disgusting.
The vomit was the
And
worst.
vomit
Like
and to watch him
so
just
gross.
grab handfuls and shovel this up during an interview
Fucking
and,
Bean Boozled.
and it was just like, oh my
yeah, that was in the old building. I remember.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
but in the
yeah.
production room.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck! It was so nasty.
That building was the worst.
it was fun though.
That building
a lot of memories.
sucked.
Do you remember
Imagine being
to
a
the production room?
non-smoker. Working
Yeah.
in that building.
Oh yeah.
That bad,
even
but-
even in the new building.
Yeah, I was
that wasn't,
surprised.
that wasn't as bad because there were doors.
But I was
outside.
surprised because when I
Yeah.
came in as an intern in 2010, the laws had already changed. You weren't allowed to smoke indoors.
Yeah.
Yet I came in and I'm like, hey, how come these guys are smoking cigarettes?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Dude,
And it stayed that way until Clark got busted by somebody.
Yeah.
I remember,
And
I think
actually got
somebody told me
suspended from the show.
there's an
Yeah.
air
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. There's an
Remember
air
when they started
filtration
to
system
suspend
in
us?
there.
Wait, say that again.
Somebody told me that there was an air filtration system inside the studio. Don't
bullshit.
worry about it.
That's what they claimed.
Yeah, bullshit.
Well,
Yeah, no.
That's when
I mean, technically, yeah, there is one, but
Yeah.
I used to go
Not-
home reeking like I didn't smoke.
Yeah.
I started fucking smoking because all you assholes smoking,
Yeah.
and I was just like,
Dude,
nah,
I
I'm
think
gonna
about it
try
now. It's
Way to
so
pass
bad.
the buck.
It's so rude to do to other people. It's just, you know.
I didn't care.
I know you didn't, but it's not fair, and it's
I mean, I'll
shitty,
care when I
and
die of secondhand
Cancer,
lung
sure.
disease. Is that a thing?
And you can call me up, and I'll be like, my bad on that one. My bad.
It's
All
okay.
Sorry, bro.
Contributed to that, and
I'll be fine. I had a good run.
yeah, it was bad, and because it was like
Those were the days.
it was fucking chain smoking.
Oh, yeah.
every day for 20 years.
funny
And
thing is, a
I
lot of
remember there was
cigarettes didn't
a
get smoked.
what?
A lot of cigarettes probably really didn't even get smoked.
Very
Crazy
true.
thing. Remember all that stuff falling on the carpet?
The ashes that
Oh,
be this
yeah.
big.
Sure, You've
Yeah.
talked about that before.
Shut up, Clark.
Oh my god.
Wait, who was the actress that ruined all the carpet there? Sybil Shepherd.
Sybil
right?
Shepherd.
Yeah. She was like the first or
the
second
scapegoat.
guest.
I remember when you guys taught me that you could pull up the
Peel the
squares.
carpet up.
Peel
Yeah,
the
it
squares.
wasn't real carpet because they, in a studio you get a lot of wires underneath, so all the
yeah, it's like a
carpeting
false
was
floor.
stickers. Yeah,
How did that
false floor.
story go about blaming Sybil Shepherd?
She was the second guest
Yeah,
in the
first
new
or
studio.
second guest.
Yeah,
one of the
and then we
first
got a
people.
cigarette burn in the carpet
because they
We're
were
like,
so
fucking-
anal about like, don't you guys mess anything up. Next thing you know, one's burnt up.
Yeah.
And that's why the Riff Studio one square's slightly different than the morning
I'd
show
have to go
studio.
in there and fucking take up the whole square, even just cut some of it
It
off.
was stuck down. It was it's just peel it off.
I would love to go in there now. I had been in there since Dave and Chuck took it over, and it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know, it felt like a hospital. It was so sterile.
Yeah, yeah. I've
I mean,
seen
I
pictures.
don't mind.
How is that show doing?
Good. I mean, they're doing fine.
I don't think it's local
it's
anymore.
radio.
They're,
It's not.
They're in so many markets
Yeah.
that
Yeah, that's crazy.
lost all the local appeal. But
I've never
I
gotten it.
Oh, I don't get the show at all. I don't understand it.
I don't get
No.
it.
and
I've tried. I just,
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
you worked there, right? Didn't you do
Yeah, I
sales
was in
there?
sales at the time. I listened for 6 months straight at one point. I'm like, I have to sell this. I have to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't fucking do it.
I'll
Yeah,
say
I
this,
couldn't do it.
Terrible.
Terrible. I didn't laugh.
Yeah.
Not at all.
They
Yeah.
did. They did.
Oh, a lot.
A lot.
What I always
themselves.
looked at, being a listener of both shows before I even came, I noticed that when I listened to
Gross.
Drew and Mike, I was learning something. It was seriously, I would learn things. I
With
would.
Drew and Mike.
Yeah, Drew would take you down a path and he would teach you about the news of the day. And the
Yeah.
other show would just be, hey, this is a funny story from Singapore.
From Fark.
Yeah,
Go
from
down
Fark.
Fark.com.
Yeah.
No, it's just from Fark. Yeah, exactly.
hey, they
it
have
works.
They have an audience.
It works.
Yeah.
We're not there, right? So,
Exactly.
What do you guys think? Do you think it's overall a good thing podcasts exist versus radio? Do you feel like, because it feels something always felt special about radio to me, like
Well,
not
it was-
anybody can
it was
do
fi-
this.
It was finite. Right?
It was finite. Yeah, that's what I mean.
You
Like,
could only have so many frequencies.
yeah.
Yeah. And they were it was more independent though at that point. Like now it's so corporate
Too
that
many
it feels like
Gross.
The man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just watered down. It's
But
just,
it feels like
this worked in Dallas.
And no
we
risks.
should do it here. in
Name
Detroit.
the last radio show that took a risk.
They're all doing podcasts now.
Right.
But now you have this thing, and maybe it's just, I'm jealous of it, honestly, because it used to be special. Like, hey, we had to go, and if you didn't prove yourself and earn a spot to stay, you were gone. You were fucking gone. And now it's like any asshole with a $20 microphone
The
and an
cost
internet
to entry
connection.
is so cheap.
It's
Yeah.
so cheap. And it seems like, wow, I had no idea how many people wanted to do this job.
Yeah.
Like, do you know
We
anyone
learned
that
how many
doesn't
people.
have a podcast?
It's a good reason they never fucking did that job either.
Yeah, but it seems like everybody, like, I don't care who you're a doctor. Oh, you have a podcast too.
Sure.
Or this, you have a podcast. It's like,
Sure. Well, podcast. They're like magazines, right? I mean,
Yeah.
or back when magazines
Right.
were magazines. I mean, you'd have Cat Fancy because it was so
Cigar
demographically
aficionado.
Right.
so specific. Right? You had niche audiences, and that's what podcasting is now.
Yeah, but
I mean, you're not gonna
for
see
us.
big-
We're still doing like topical news of the day. It's not like
They're
I get it if
anomalies,
it's like
though.
cigar
That's
aficionado.
Not, I mean, podcasts don't do that, right? I mean,
You don't think so?
There are very few daily podcasts that will talk
Yeah.
about current events.
Really?
That's what I find.
Very few that get big.
I mean, Rogan, right? I mean, Rogan's the gold
Rogan's-
Yeah,
standard.
but kind of his is more of a interview thing, so it's
Sure.
not like current event because I can listen to a Rogan interview
Yeah,
in the past
true.
and
Sure.
still get everything I need from
Yeah,
it.
he actually is more like the Tonight Show in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
right.
As far as
Showcasing-
impact,
for
sure.
Well, he's got about as many viewers or listeners as Carson did.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Well, not
Yeah,
Carson.
yeah,
but,
not as
but
much as
maybe
Carson,
Leno.
but-
Yeah, what 12
million,
13
13
million.
It's crazy.
But yeah, he does celebrity interviews, introduces new comedians, which
Yep.
I think he kind of gets off on.
Yeah, big time.
But as far as
Dude, he would have had more. That's funny now that you mention that. He would have had more viewers on news radio than listeners currently of his podcast.
probably,
30
Holy
million
shit, you're
probably
right.
on news radio.
Yeah.
Would have been like an average show.
but what do people know him for now? Even if you
Oh.
don't, like I don't listen to his show, but I know what he does. It's
Great. I listen from time to time, and
it's
it's good because he's never changed it. It's never like, hey, now I have money. I'm going to do all the corporate things and all the graphics and all
Sure.
the bullshit. Like, it's just this.
Yeah.
I've got Jamie, my producer, and me, and that's fucking it. I do all my booking. It's great.
Well,
think it's-
there's the benefit for the cost of entry being so cheap. Right?
Yeah.
you don't need a radio station. I mean, big
Sales team,
Big
all
Daddy
that.
Radio paid for a lot of things.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
now you can do it. You can cobble a show together in a basement. right?
Yeah.
and everybody does.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. I mean, if we're, do you think we'll be
there's a
out of
bubble.
gigs for AI in 5 years? You think AI will
AI
be just
just
doing our
cracking
voices,
people up.
just making everybody laugh, delivering news, delivering AI
Well,
news?
I mean, it already does deliver news, right? You can go if you go to the free press, you can just hit play and it'll read it to you.
True.
If you want to do that, it's hard to replicate chemistry.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
maybe they'll do it. I'll hopefully be dead by then.
I don't know. I always
can't
thought.
envision it.
I
I
always
can't
thought
envision
like.
I mean, comedy's hard to replicate. It's just
very, and AI struggles with that. AI can't write
Yeah.
a joke.
Well, and
now.
comedy's different for different people, like Dave and Chuck, for example, right?
Yeah.
Some people really laugh at it, and
well,
other
and,
people
and
don't.
then going back
Yeah.
to what was mentioned earlier, if you're a corporation, or do you want to have an edgy AI writing jokes?
yeah.
No,
No.
no, you're not going to.
So you wanna go the safe route.
Yeah, you're not going to take. Yeah, you're going to take chances.
Yeah.
So I mean,
everything's going to be watered down. And fucking everything.
No, it's not.
No, I know. I'm saying if that were to
happen,
happen, it's not going to.
No.
I just can't see it happening.
No.
Yeah.
And frankly, I give listeners a lot more credit than that, where I don't think they want to listen to something that is just AI generated.
I wouldn't think so.
No,
Because you would have to take emotion out of it, and so much of what we do is passion and emotion and
or lack of
genuine laughter. Like, is there anything fucking better than when a room absolutely loses it altogether at something that's hilarious? Like that camaraderie in a
Unless
room.
it's Dave and Chuck.
Yeah, but when it's real, there's been some moments on this show, on the Drew and Mike show, on the Drew Lane podcast now, like there are those moments we all know of where it's like, oh my God, dude, that was so funny.
But that
no AI is ever going to do that.
But that may not hit one day and hits another because everyone's in the same lane that
I don't
day
know how
or in the same mood.
I mean, I don't know how broad AI could replicate,
chemistry.
such specific niche podcasts.
Yeah. I don't know, but if you did one like craft beers or old cars, sport muscle cars, like an AI could
But would
do
you
that.
rather have a computer tell you, or would you rather?
But if you didn't realize it was a computer, if it was the AI was so good, the technology was so good that it sounded like any human being talking that's just with the world's knowledge at its fingertips.
Well, then I guess I wouldn't care as much.
I know, but
I'm not going to go to a meet and greet, right? And, if anybody, so I don't care if it's a computer or a
That's
person.
true.
So
That's
that
true.
Point.
At some point, Drew's going to hang it up. He's
What?
Yeah.
When?
Never.
All of
Will
us
my
hate-
kids be in college yet?
They will be. Hopefully,
Hopefully it'll be done.
Do you guys think you'd want to stay in this industry
No.
doing? No. See, I think you've been saying that for 25 years.
Yeah. Well,
I can tell you.
what are you gonna do? You'll be a greeter at the zoo or something. Just fucking chatting with everyone.
No, he'll be some
Preschool
nerd at
teacher.
U of M. welcoming incoming
Preschool
freshmen.
teacher.
Joey's garden.
Making friends.
No.
That doesn't surprise me. I bet you, Mark, would bail, and I don't know what you do. You've done this forever.
I know. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
mean,
don't
dude,
like
I think-
thinking about it.
Yeah. Well,
I
it's
look at it
probably
like this.
10, 15, 20 years down the road.
I remain, even though I work with him, I still remain a Drew Lane fan. If I wasn't a part of the show, I'd be listening to the show. So as long as he's doing it, I'd love to have me there. So I'm very grateful in that aspect.
Yeah.
But when all is said and done, I think to myself, does the world need another show?
Yeah.
Does the
Yeah.
world? I mean, am I going to have any? Does anybody want to listen to me?
Exactly.
No, I'm the
people are
fourth
there to
mic.
listen to Drew, so
Yeah.
it's not.
Drew is the star.
And I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like doing what I do, and I love working with Elric. I love working with Charlie. Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would still do that. But as far as doing my own,
Yeah, but
No
wouldn't you
interest?
at least want to
No.
try it?
no.
I'm surprised you guys haven't, because you could easily do a weekend show. That was the original thought for this.
When?
For this.
When do I have time?
Yeah, it's true. When this studio was built, we were still on the air at Riff. And it was like, you know what? I'm going to build a studio in my house, and Mark and me and Bentley and whoever, we could just do something on the weekend, fuck around. Like, that was the original thought of this place.
Yeah.
And then we got fired, and everything went.
What do
the
you
way
What do
it
you think
did.
about getting fired today? Like, how do you look at it?
There's things I can't talk about that none of us can really talk about, honestly, that I think played into that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's hard to give it like an honest answer, because honestly, we should still be doing that show now, just like Howard Stern if we wanted.
Yeah, that wouldn't have happened.
Maybe not.
I don't think that would have happened. But I don't think it would.
I think
I always say, this is what I've always said about it. I don't like it. Obviously, I hated it. I didn't want that show to end. It's what I did for a living. It's you're
and it was still
it's fucking
good.
cliche, but you're still a family because you spend more time
Yeah.
with those people than
Yeah.
you do your loved ones day in and day out. It's and I mean, people forget about this. The proximity too. I mean, you are in a small room with people.
Yeah.
You get pissed at them. You love them. I mean, that's just the nature of it. I hated that ended, but I always understood why they did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does
I
that
did
make
too.
sense?
Sure does.
I understood why they did it on paper.
Yeah. On
You know?
paper, it absolutely made sense.
The rest of the equation didn't always make sense to me.
It
But I know
made
what they
sense
were
to
thinking,
me.
and that I'm referring to the whole 105.1 project at that time.
Yeah. And I don't know how many
why
times
on paper that just looked like it would work out, and it didn't work out once you get rolling. And that's when you have that realization that, oh wow, they don't want to put money into something that isn't making money, which is a catch-22. Because how do you promote something?
How do you make money if you don't spend the money?
Precisely.
Right.
Yeah.
There's money to make
there's
money.
lots.
Beavis said it best.
But I mean, there's stations in this market that work for clusters, and it's like, oh, that station's not going to perform because the resources are being put into shows that are making a lot more money to make more money. And I get that equation, but it just sucks when you're in that grind going, oh, there is zero support here.
Yeah. I wish, honestly, and probably for selfish reasons, but I think we didn't need any of them. And if we would have done the Drew cast from here and as a transition,
Drew
and
says
build,
that. I mean,
build a studio wherever he wants, whatever. We could have done this.
Look, Drew Central trauma is 105.1.
Yeah.
He hates it with a passion.
Which is bizarre because for me,
you wouldn't be here.
It's my opening. You know, I was an intern in 2010.
Who's to say what's good?
There were a lot of things I hated about it, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah.
I think I learned a lot of stuff.
I would
about
trade
how-
97.1.
Well, see, that's why I got the gig. That's why
Yeah.
Drew and Mike called me back was because you signed
because
with
Mike
97.1,
ghosted us.
and then
Mike ghosted us.
And then when Mike didn't show up, I got the phone call, and it was obviously
that was the worst part about it. Was
it was bad for you guys,
going
but
their
for
own
me,
way.
I was like, hell yeah,
Well,
I get to
I
be a
have-
part of the show now.
I've apologized to Drew so many times he doesn't accept the apology well, and I probably to you too, Mark. I've talked.
I signed a contract like
obviously.
2 days before. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
You could have gotten twice the money.
97.1, and I could have been where I wanted.
But
to
you
be.
really don't regret that. You don't
You
regret.
loved working with Mike Valeni.
You don't regret working with Valeni.
I don't. No, I do regret
You
it.
do really?
Yeah, it sucked.
Why?
Well,
No, I'm
it
kinda
just wasn't.
fascinated
No,
by this
because
now.
I've
Why?
always,
It
I've
wasn't a good
always
fit?
said. I just, yeah.
I mean, you guys would be oil and water. I can tell you right now.
Yeah,
I was not.
I mean,
was
he doesn't
not
have much
fit
of a
there.
sense
He's
of humor.
fucking awesome at what he does, but
He
they
is.
brought me in and they said, "We want you to do this and kind of help things be creative in this way." And then I got there, and within 2 weeks, they're like, "Nope, you do this or you're out."
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, "Oh, I'm just fucking
Yeah,
peace."
a grunt.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah, no
I
creativity.
hated it. I was so bummed. I couldn't wait to get off and listen to your guys' show on 105.1.
Yeah.
And text Mark during the show on my
Well-
ride home.
Because we were working till 8.
Yeah, we had a ridiculous
Who
schedule.
the fuck does a 5-hour afternoon show? That was so.
Drew Lane. Did you think he wouldn't?
Oh, he didn't want to.
Really?
I think after the first
Oh,
couple
no.
weeks, we narrowed it down to 4 hours.
To 7,
so,
yeah, 3
Yeah,
to
it was
7.
7. That's
So
what
that
I
was the other fatal mistake. It should have gone head to head. It should have been 2 to 6.
Yeah, 100%.
But they didn't have program. They didn't have sports programming, so it would have to go to ESPN National, which
Death.
the coverage would start at 8.
Yeah.
So, and I think they wanted Drew to go against the beginning of those games, which is a little short-sighted, right? I mean,
Yeah.
who needs to listen to the beginning of a baseball game
Right. Yeah. Is there anything more boring than the first 3 innings of a baseball game?
or the next 6?
Or the next 6?
it's better than soccer.
No. It's not.
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride, you guys. I mean,
Are you kicking us out
many
now?
years.
Are we
Yeah,
done?
it's been
Just
2:15. My sister-in-law just got here. The warden
Oh,
just
that's who that
arrived.
was.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Marcy.
your buddy, Nick, from down the street.
Nine
No.
I saw-
Your 9-year-old friend
No, Noah. No, that's Marcy.
coming over to shoot some hoops.
They're here early. What fucking time is it? Oh, it's 7:20. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
before we go, I do got to say we have 2 more super chats that came in. $2 from AA Ron. He said eggplant emoji, squirt emoji.
Water squirt
right.
emoji. Water
Very
squirt
good.
emoji.
Very
Water
good.
squirt
And then we got Joey Butts back in for $2. Smoking, porn blasting right above Granholm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They all know that story.
Everybody
yeah, I
knows that
forgot
story.
about
Right?
that. It took me a
It was
second.
fucking
to-
great, though. It's still one of
Did
the highlights
Grand
of our
Mole
career.
ever see the porn? Did she
No.
ever turn around and
I don't
see
think
was
so.
right above her
Right
head.
above her head.
it? Wow.
That was in the prod room.
That was by
No,
was
it was the main studio.
It was off-air main studio.
Yeah, we were getting ready to do a porn interview.
Yeah,
And so we were
it wasn't,
watching.
It wasn't done on purpose.
Yeah, we had porn up because we were about to interview one of the porn
was
stars.
she there to talk at the new building?
Yeah, it was.
Didn't
I know she made the back of the Grapevine.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, 9 months later, probably,
newsletter?
or a year later.
internal news.
The Greater Media magazine that was always. 6,
I don't think we
6
ever
months
made it in there.
Oh, we did. It was
Did
always
we?
6 months after something happened. It would
Yeah.
be like Riff Fest just happened in fucking
December.
February. What? It happened in the winter?
Yeah, crazy man. Well, Good luck, you guys. Thank you so much for coming over here. It's been a long time coming. We should have done it earlier, and I know a lot of people are going to be happy about this.
Are you coming? So Arizona, and then do you come back for anything?
Yeah.
What are you gonna miss?
I will. I'm going to miss a lot
winters.
of stuff. Honestly, I won't miss the winters.
The roads.
First off, I don't know what I don't know yet, and I think I'm going to miss a lot. I think there's going to be a shitload that I miss.
Well, I mean, your family's out there, right? Or West
Family's
Coast,
out there, but
so,
both.
I mean, that's a big reason to
That's-
stay, right?
Out there?
No, to stay here is if you have family here.
Right.
But you don't.
Right.
So,
well, my
yeah.
parents are here half the year.
Yeah, but not, yeah.
Yeah. But
Who wants to see them?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm interrupting it again. We got a $50 super chat from Jay Schlitzky. It says, I loved it.
Schlitzky. Wow. $50 super
Nice.
chat. Holy shit.
Thank you.
You guys are making more money for this.
Meanwhile, I
place
just
than-
got a text from Mazaway.
We've made almost double.
Tom Mazaway wants to know, are you guys standing me up tonight? I guess nobody told him that we were.
Oh, he deserves it.
I'll text
he
him right now.
deserves
No,
it.
I'm writing him back. What time are you available?
Yeah, man. Send them to Drew's. Send them to Drew's. That's a perfect
Oh,
way
we
to
want
go.
you to go. We want you in studio today.
We're doing 9 o'clock show tonight.
I thought you were coming.
See you in an hour and a
Drew
half.
didn't text you.
We changed the show to 10 o'clock tonight. See you at 10.
We've been calling.
And Drew was wondering if there's any chance you could pick up a couple large pizzas on your way over. We got some strippers coming in tonight.
I mean, for working in the communications field, we are the worst communicators.
Yeah, terrible.
Always
Terrible.
have been.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like talking to people.
Yeah, you do.
You
that's
spend so many hours talking to people. I don't want to talk on the phone. I don't want to talk.
I know that
Same
about you,
part.
but when you're with friends, you're good. You've always been good.
No. I just mean in general. Like it's like I don't want to talk on the phone. But
that's what
I,
fascinates
hell no.
after doing a show and then after making phone calls in the old days.
But you're talking to Ryan for an hour. That's what I don't
He's
get.
got shit to say, man. Really loudly too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your boy Ryan. Good luck with that relationship.
No, I mean,
Don't share a bed with him. Even if
not?
you have your sleepover. Just
Four
let-
pillows.
Four
Yeah,
pillows.
yeah, when he gets four
when
pillows,
he's like,
you don't
Mark,
have a
I got
choice.
4 pillows.
why are you guys taking this to an area like that?
We're kicking
You
the turd.
brought up the fucking bed.
That's
You're
what
the
he
one
said
that
to
said
me. It was-
4
it's a
pillows, not me.
conversation.
Yeah, and we didn't say anything bad. We just said he asked you to sleep for a
his
sleepover.
bed.
He's
Yeah.
a good kid.
Aw,
He's a maniac.
Brandon, Jim, Mark, thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank
in.
you.
for having
This is
us.
awesome, dude. I will not be a stranger. We'll talk going forward. I've talked to Drew about it too, and we'll see.
Well, I don't like
how
to
that
talk on the
plays
phone,
out.
though.
No, I don't either. The last thing, what are you, psychopath? Charlie does that. LaDuff, he always wants to call you. It's
I
like,
know.
dude,
Oh, I know.
Fucking text me. You're creeping me out with this phone call stuff. He called me today, and I'm like,
the time. I know, I was with him.
no, he gets mad. Well, yeah, when he called me, you were?
Yeah. I told him I was coming here, and he goes, why? What's going on? I'm like, he's leaving. He's moving on. He goes, what's his number? WOL, right? I'm like, yeah. That's my Charlie. That's not very good, Charlie.
That's not, no, he sounded like a black guy.
Charlie's black.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's part black.
Yeah, he's like fucking 2% or something.
Or 12 and a half.
Is he 12 and a half?
Well, 1/8, right? Isn't he? I don't know.
Yeah, that's 12 and a half.
I don't know. Sorry, Charlie.
Yeah. Anyways. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. We'll be back tomorrow. Dave Landau in studio tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
So love him. See you then.